Hello everyone!
Ayun.
Ayan, that's it. Today, hindi lang tayo Project Pilipinas, Project International.
International.
Afam ang ano natin today.
Very special. Unang studio guest
Yeah,
natin.
this is it. I'm really proud of this. We have had many special guests throughout the years, no? Politicians, people running for the highest office, celebrities, among others. But today, this is even more special kasi very intimate, no? Very intimate. Yung yung physical distance lang. But hopefully the conversation will not be too intimate. So kasama natin a very good friend of mine, of course, throughout the years, and I was really glad to know that this person, this very talented person, is in town. So I thought, why not make this person our first super special guest, because super special ito. Do you want to go ahead to get the introduction? Baka I might get it wrong and then makancel na ako sa kanyang account, no?
So our guest is an entertainment producer with a decade experience in commercial producing. Since 2012, he produced 13 Broadway and 5 off-Broadway shows in 7 years. Winning 3 Tony Awards and
Yun.
a Grammy. Wow.
Multi Tony. Tony Award, like a Tony and Grammy.
Grammy.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we get it right. So obviously, of course, my context of friendship with him was another award that he won among many others. So he's definitely one of the proudest products of the Asian American community and also of the Philippines, of course. No, so. Ano pangalan niya ulit?
One and only.
Baka naman!
Jhett Tolentino.
Yeah, the one and only Jhett
Welcome to
Tolentino.
Project
Thank you very
Pilipinas.
much, Jhett, for joining us. I always wanted to have this conversation with someone as talented as you. But, it's not just your talent. Ang dami mga talentado. But it's your passion and your patriotism, I would say. I really feel your love for the Philippines. For some of our audience who are super excited to know more about your background, can you tell me, anong pinanggalingan ni Jhett Tolentino? Where does all of this talent and energy come from?
Yeah, well,
Take your time. This is a
I
podcast.
know. Context.
Yeah.
Born and raised in the slums of Iloilo City. Went again, educated there as well.
Right.
Under a scholarship from Megoku Society of
Right,
Sophia University in Tokyo, Japan.
Accounting. You took accounting?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
University of Iloilo.
Yeah.
Accounting. And then after graduation, I went straight to work.
Right. Like in the accounting world,
yeah.
in corporate world?
Yes, my first pay was 4,000 pesos in 1997.
Yeah. Dami. That was worth quite a lot, right? Back in the
That's
day.
province. Yeah,
All
but,
right,
yeah,
right,
but
yeah.
the starting was
Yeah.
Much lower than that.
Right.
And then after 3 months, I got promoted to be general bookkeeper of the 3 branches. And then
Oh, wow.
I became the accountant of the company after 6 months. And then I moonlighted
Mm.
in 2 more companies in Hong Kong,
Right. This is where 19...
99 to 2001.
So just after the Asian financial crisis.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure those
That's
were the
why I
best
got-
days to be an accountant, right? It was
Well,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So while I was in Hong Kong, I was moonlighting for JP Capital Finance
Right.
as one of the internal auditors, and also I moonlighted as a sales representative for Inside Fashion, which is an American company.
Right.
And I got connections there, and they hooked me
Hmm.
up to a job in California. I trained in Oakland, California, of all
Right.
places, for sales and marketing. And then that particular company got absorbed or bought out by Radio Shack.
Oh, right.
So I went to the East Coast in 2004.
You're getting closer to Hollywood. I can see the geography, right?
To
No, malapit eh. Yeah.
To the East
Broadway.
Coast, and
Yeah.
I went back to accounting because
Right,
they, mortgage from home to commercial. So I underwrote some loans from
Right.
gasoline station to multi-use businesses, buildings, homes, diners. Those were my specialties. But then the 2008 Lehman Brothers.
Yeah,
that
meltdown,
was-
yeah.
And I had to oh my God, what should I do? So I went to a placement agency on 42nd Street.
Right.
They only cater to people who don't they don't cater for the world for the word say recession. They don't know that word. So the ultra wealthy.
You mean recession-proof
Yes,
people? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll try that. So the jobs,
Interesting.
either executive assistants or house managers
Right.
or caregivers and all that. So yeah, the first job there that I got, well, he's dead. So I think I had an NDA, but he's dead. Okay, so it was Bernstein.
Wait lang. Let us call our lawyers in. Medyo, I think let's just call the lawyer later on.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I worked with this
Woo.
guy who's
Yeah.
75, ultra rich, 4 mega homes in Dobbs Ferry,
Oh,
Palm Beach,
jeez.
Florida, the Hamptons in Manhattan.
Posh of the posh.
Wherever
Yeah.
he was, I had to be with him.
Jeez.
And this is private jets. All right.
Succession. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was that. So I had my own
Mm.
apartment on West Fifth by Lincoln Center in New York City. So
Very
I was
humble.
few
Very
steps-
humble. Very humble area.
a few steps away from Broadway. So because it was a new place for me, no friends and family, I dedicated my life for working daytime, and at night I surrendered to the theater. I love the idea of coming in dark spaces. I
Mm,
leave my nostalgia and
yeah.
problems at the door, and I let the theater consume me, transport
Right.
me to whatever the storytelling. And
Right.
every so often, I would be able to connect with one character on stage.
Right.
It's either me or people that I know in my life.
So you just fell in love with
Yeah,
the whole Broadway
like,
scene and
Exactly. That I sometimes I cry,
Mm.
I laugh, but I found myself mostly annoyed. Well, how it started is that okay, because
Yeah, can you stop there? Because the first thing I want to understand is, wait lang, bakit accountant again? Were you like a numbers person? Sorry, the social scientist in me suddenly excited with all of this
Yeah.
discussion about Lehman Brothers and all that. No, but honestly, like, were you a numbers person from the very beginning, or that just practically made sense to you?
no, way back in high school, I really wanted to be a flight attendant.
Wow,
Because-
this is like so many.
No.
What's going
Because
on?
I love again coming from a very poor family.
Right.
I always wanted to see places, but the only way for
Right,
me
the
to
traveling.
go to these places
Oh.
through free.
Of course.
Traveling for free is being a flight attendant, but my goodness, I'm only 5'5".
Yeah.
Pal had a 5'8" height.
Ayan
Apartment
na.
for
Name
men.
drop! Name drop! Kuya ka
Sorry.
siya. Yeah.
No, that was
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, 5'8" for men.
Nung time na yan.
Yeah, and well,
Oh.
the other thing is back in 1993 when I graduated high school, tourism was not offered in Iloilo City.
Right.
Fact. That's a fact. So either I had to go to Bacolod or Cebu. But then my scholarship won't allow me to come out of Iloilo City because it's attached to a community service.
I see. Uh-huh.
Yun. Kaya yung mga classmate ko from high school, they all enrolled in accounting. I said, okay, why not?
Right.
But, I get it. It was no accident. I guess now I love it because it comes in handy.
It's
in
very
my profession.
useful. Very, and of course, I don't think you'll be where you are today if not for the,
Yes.
not naman circuitous, but quite an interesting journey.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about accounting. Kamustang buhay accountant?
It-
How did you keep it not too dry? Or, yeah.
Well, because I use it in my day-to-day living, right? The simple understanding of law.
Right.
Like, because in accounting, when you take up accounting, there are 4 courses of law that you have to
Right.
take. How to form a
Yes,
business,
of course, yeah.
single, and a partnership and corporation and all that.
The
And
tax
basic
code,
taxation.
yeah,
You
tax
know,
code,
basic.
yeah, of course, yeah.
So I think it should be taught especially in the arts, because most artists do not know how to interpret numbers.
Right.
This is a fact, also I'm not making this up. So yeah, so while I was there, while watching, at night, I would say I always wondered, why is Broadway so successful? It's a $10 billion industry.
Mm.
If you combine hockey, football, tennis,
Yeah.
every big events in New York City, you combine them all, the revenue would not even reach to Broadway. Broadway is still the number 1 attraction in New York City, $10 billion. I said, okay, why are they alive? So the business minded in me, I was just like, okay, I first started counting the cast. How many times they changed their costume? where are the lights coming from?
Right.
What's the capacity of the theater? And I was like, okay, I can make up numbers. So the tickets has to be this price. I thought I was going crazy.
So you were running the numbers already. Because,
Yeah,
have you
actually.
experienced? I mean, have you done Broadway in New York? I did
Yeah.
Chicago in New York.
Okay.
It was just amazing. It's like,
Yeah.
what about you?
The last time we were there, we watched the Broadway. I
If you
forgot.
can remember.
I can remember. That was 7 years ago. Pero,
But it was good.
It was good.
You just don't remember the name, but it was good. Sorry, I mean, men, we're horrible people. You know, when it comes to arts,
I think it was it was
He actually fell asleep. But
yung a Pretty Woman yata.
Oh, right. Well, I couldn't fall asleep. It was Chicago. I mean, come on. I mean, you can't sleep on that. I mean, like, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was really, I mean, Broadway is really something.
Yeah.
Now, so when did you enter the whole Broadway business? I mean, what gave you the audacity to even try your, I mean, it
Yeah.
must be a very competitive, you know,
Yeah.
entry barriers must be quite high.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Well, I started watching in 2004. By 2008, after having seen over
because you moved to
1,000
New York in
yeah.
2004, right? Exactly, yeah.
After
See, I
having
know you're-
seen over 1,000 shows,
So you would watch almost
I
every...
became jaded.
Obsessed nga.
No. Here's the thing.
1,000.
If I watch something
Yeah.
that I can predict the ending, I hate that.
Yeah, medyo formulaic na. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I would rather not pay if I already know the ending.
Yeah.
You know, formula. Because if it's art for me in a live form, I want to be left broken, thought provoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because otherwise I will just go
Yeah.
home and
Yeah,
watch
I see what you're
something
saying,
on
yeah.
TV, right?
You like plot twists.
Why do you have to pay $100 for that?
Right.
So, with that thinking, I started reviewing the shows that I've seen.
So you started as an amateur
That was the
critic.
start of blogging.
Yeah, amateur critic. You became a film
Yeah,
critic.
so
A Broadway critic.
I
sorry.
had like, it's all about the theater by Jhett Tolentino.
Right.
That was 2000.
Sorry, bro. Nauna sa atin vlogger. Tayo vlogger lang tayo. We're just vloggers, you know?
Yeah, and then a year later,
Yeah.
I started getting invitations from Broadway productions.
I see. So by being a blogger, you really got into the den of the lions.
Yeah.
You know, I see
And
what you're
I
saying.
started not paying
Yeah.
any tickets.
Alam ni ano yan, alam ni Mark Gambo yan. Yung mga special ano.
I know. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Especial.
This is it. No,
Yeah.
because to me, again, it was a teeny tiny blog.
Right.
I was, well, someone on, I think you can look at it, someone wrote me as a merciless critic or whatever. But I was trying to give the truth to my readers that
Yeah.
I'm trying to save their time and money.
Yeah. Don't
Right.
waste your money.
Yeah.
$100
And
on
at that
this.
time,
Yeah.
I only had about 2,300
Right.
subscribers.
Which is must be a lot for you know.
There are 37 million theater goers. So
No, I know, but I'm probably these were the tasteful, high-end
Yeah.
types, right?
exactly.
Whose opinions matter, and then it would
Yeah.
percolate. Yeah.
And again, to me, it didn't even occur to me that I'm gonna meet these people, right?
Right.
So, jolly, I went to the invitation, you know, from presentation,
Paninindigan ko
workshops,
na to, parang gano'n.
reading, premiere nights.
Right.
I was dressed to nine, and all
Right.
these people that I panned in my reviews,
We're there.
no sense of humor, came up to me.
No sure.
Verbatimly recited the horrible things
Oh,
I've
you
written
traumatized them. You're a horrible
Yeah.
person. You should
Yeah.
pay for their therapy.
And to this
Yeah.
day- to this
Oh
day,
my gosh.
there are still people on Broadway that do not speak to me. Because
So you were cancelled. You were cancelled before you even
I was like,
started.
dude,
Oh wow.
you're in the theater,
You should kapal fest.
right? And I
Kapal
was just
fest.
like, are you sure that was me?
Yeah.
But I don't think that was me. But yeah, so I stopped writing. I stopped reviewing. Like in 4 months,
Right.
my readers were like, Jhett, the show opened. Where's your review?
Yeah.
And I would just reply, just pick up the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not putting anything in writing.
Because of
anymore.
the
I get traumatized.
violent. Yeah, of course I can
Again,
imagine. Yeah.
I did not even think that they will find my writing.
Yeah.
I'm not a good writer at all. Okay, and for them to even
Bother.
entertain
Yeah.
that,
And memorize the
Yes.
lines, it's like a New York Times review kind of
Yeah, I mean,
level.
how many
For them
times
to take
I
it personally,
Right. So I stopped writing.
Right.
And then my boss at that time, one of the elites also, she knew about my goings on because it's
Right.
my only life. I don't have any vice. I don't smoke. I don't drink. It's
Ay,
just
paras
beer.
tayo dyan. Ewan ko kay Mark, pero paras tayo dyan. Hanggang
Yeah.
tsaa lang kami. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my only life. Or
Obsessed.
beer.
Essentially obsessed.
Not really I mean,
No, obsessed in a good way. I mean, I admit I'm obsessed to my job. I mean, how can I? There's no
Yeah.
way other way I can do what I'm doing unless you really love it. I mean, like
it's
crazy.
not I would call it like maybe a hobby.
Passion.
Obsession is too
It
much.
doesn't look like a hobby. It looks like yeah.
You
It's
know,
like
I guess
you
if you don't
ate it,
have a
you
life.
breathed it. Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah. No, because I belong to this particular group
Yeah.
of theater goers. So if you miss one show and you're discussing,
Right.
you look like a fool.
Right.
So just like that, right? So anyways,
So parang may book club kayo parang
yeah,
ganyan,
exactly. We
Yeah.
all march, and then at the end we go to a diner or anywhere, and we
Right.
brainstorm. And they were like, "Jhett, you right on. I missed that, but yes."
Yeah.
And then I get sick and tired of another person just missed it. I have to keep going. Come on. And that's why they're actually the ones who advised me, why don't you blog? So that we don't have.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, you have.
messages.
Yeah, I think being a good writer is just not the prose. It's
Yeah.
the quality of the kind of observations you
Yeah,
make.
it's
Sharp,
just for my
boom.
core group.
Exactly, boom, sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I went to college without internet. Okay, I'm old.
Ano, pangit lang internet sa Pilipinas noon.
No, no.
Wala talaga internet.
97, when I graduated, that was the
Ayaw
time
nga,
when
wala pa.
Windows
Oh,
was
yeah,
okay?
you're right. You're
You're really
right.
aging
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
That's it.
No, I was just trying to give you a pass, bro. Yeah.
Take it from me when I say I went to college without internet.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then
Analog.
Yes.
Analog, kumbaga. Yeah.
floppy disk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those were the
exactly.
days.
Mm.
DVD.
Yeah, and then so my boss saw that I was in despair. 'Cause
Right.
there's a voice inside me that I didn't know what to do. Again, I feel for the actors also. I hear them.
Yeah.
That my words hurt them,
Yeah.
right? And then there are also this group of people that are trying to do justice as well. That guys, you really do not have to pay for this. Can I?
Yeah. Right.
Shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Rubbish.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's completely rubbish. Yeah.
And then, and my boss is like, but Jhett, you know about the business, and you keep telling me about. Why don't you start picking up the shows and write the check?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that
were
was-
there shows that you like and that you praised and their life changed and they felt inspired? I mean, is there other side to this story?
Well, again,
or
they-
you were
they
just
would-
a mean
they
diva?
They would. They would get a caption from the New York Times, not from me. I'm from a teeny tiny blog. They're not gonna look, no.
So you were like the connoisseur
I'm
that
the
mattered.
disruptor.
Yeah.
I'm the disruptor. If it's bad, they come to me. But if it's good, they go to New York Times.
I see what you're
and all
saying.
that, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were like an acid test or kind of
Yeah.
a filtration
Yeah,
mechanism.
because I was accessible.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then that's when we formed a company and I started going around the country.
And this is what year?
This is 2010.
After the financial crisis. Parating nasa financial crisis ka, no? Like, you start
I really
accounting right after it, and then you start,
Yeah.
like, so what, okay, we'll talk
But
about the
again,
latest financial
I was trying to understand the
Yeah.
economics on Broadway. By 2010, when I was going around, I belonged to a consortium of
Right.
investors. We put the money in, and the managing members decide on which shows to produce.
Right.
And some of the shows that we did good, the first try that we had was with Harry Connick Jr.,
Right.
with Ricky Martin.
Excuse me lang, was it hard to break into like producing shows in Broadway? Kasi you were a newbie nun, you were
Mhm.
starting with. So how was the experience of?
Well, to me, because I'm already known in the producing network,
Right.
because it's the producers who would invite me to the readings, and so it's usually per invitation only, and you actually have to be verified, and you have to have like a certain stature financially, because it's every show is registered at SEC,
Yeah.
so they can check. So if there's dirty money, don't take it.
Yeah.
The feds get a way to.
Yeah.
They find a way. So there's that. And then I started doing that, but it was kinky boots. The very show that gave
Right.
me the courage to
Right,
produce
right.
on my own. Because January 12, 2012, I will never forget this date because this is the date when I met Cyndi Lauper. So it was the special presentation of Kinky Boots. There's no choreography, no costume, whatever. So it's just the actors singing and presenting it to producers for the first time. So, and then intermission, and I looked to our managing members of the consortium. I said, guys, we have to produce this. And they were like, no, we're not.
What was with the Kinky Boots that kind of gave you that, you know?
Because I already did my background. It was a flop movie.
Financially, you mean? Or
Yes.
even critic-wise?
Yes, it was a flop UK film, and I saw it. And
Right.
I was like, of course, it didn't take off.
Yeah.
I can't really say horrible things.
I mean, artistically,
Okay,
it was
a
pretty-
flop.
Yeah.
That's it. It was a flop. And then this kind of presentation, even if it's just songs and the storytelling, I can see it in a big spectrum. And then that's when I decide to stay away from them.
Right.
So I went to Chicago for the world premiere. And good thing at that time, there was still a bit of a slot left for investors.
Right.
So I put my and my partner's company in.
Mm-hmm.
We quadrupled our money there.
And that was the beginning
Yeah.
of a new chapter in your
Yeah.
life.
Yes, so I said, oh, I really know how to choose. And then I saw Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike at Lincoln Center off Broadway. Long name, Sigourney Weaver. And then I went to Andre Bishop, the president of Lincoln Center. I said, Andre, this is a fabulous show.
Right.
Please tell me you're moving to Broadway. And they were like, no, we're not.
Lack of ambition?
No. It's a very long title.
Right.
It's always misconstrued with Uncle Vanya. So for some people, it's a bore. You know, if you don't have an imagination, Uncle Vanya could be a bore of a play. And then Sigourney Weaver was leaving to shoot Avatar 2. So we have to start.
Right.
I was like, okay, can you give me a month
Yeah.
to gather the team and see what I can do? So my partner and I fronted $250,000 to hold Sigourney back. So
So you bet your own
yeah.
rear,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Joey Parnes,
Yeah.
our lead producer, can tell you that without me and
Yeah,
my
the whole
partner, it did not happen. It was the fastest move in Broadway history from off Broadway to Broadway. They closed in end of November. We opened on Broadway March 14th.
Right.
We were up against Nathan Lane, Tom Hanks, and Bette Midler.
Small time people.
Small
Tom
time.
Hanks, what's that?
I know.
Doesn't even
And guess
register.
what? We won the best play.
Jeez, wow.
And that was my first Tony, my Broadway debut.
Right.
So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
actually a clip on YouTube that somebody captured me
Yeah.
while we were called. I was
Right.
running backwards. I kept
This is
pinching
2013?
myself. Yeah, 2013.
Yes.
I kept-
Vanya's and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Yep.
Yes, because I couldn't believe, because all I can remember is the last Filipino to receive a
Right.
Tony was 22 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. And
Right.
and I'm sure not many Asian Americans too doing as well.
Yes.
I mean, no offense to Asian. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'm just.
yeah.
Let's be honest. You
Yeah.
know, there is a kind of a
Yeah.
mafia club in any business model, right?
Yeah, so that was my thought. And
Yeah.
I cannot believe somebody from the slums in Iloilo City.
Para kang Tatay Digong, no? Like,
stop!
or
Okay.
Isco, someone from Tondo.
We are not going to be political.
Yeah,
tonight.
sorry. I mean, like, I just noticed in the Philippines, everyone will pull that I came
No.
from the slum. Like, I feel bad. I just come from
I
Baguio.
know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
know.
kidding. I'm
No,
just.
I know.
I just, you know, I'm just.
But that's
yeah.
the truth.
No,
mean,
I know what you're saying.
People were asking me, what were you thinking?
I'm looking at your face in your picture here
Yeah,
when you walk.
what were you thinking when you were called? That was
Jeez,
it. My thing was like 22. It took that
2013,
long.
yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. And then, of course, I thought, wow, I brought pride to the country or
Yeah.
something like that. But nothing happened.
But this is 2013, right?
Yeah. Philippines was quiet.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nothing.
the Philippines was in the midst
Ay,
of
no,
so
no, no.
many problems back then. No, that's why I'm looking at the dates
Well,
because
that's why
I'm the political guy, right? Like,
you
yeah,
also have to pick the happy news.
yeah.
You know, why do you have to
Hindi pa kasi
concentrate?
siya, wala pang vloggers nun eh. I'm sure kung andon kami nun as vloggers, we would have invited you
Anyways,
right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that again, I couldn't help but make a little bit of tampo
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It
Right?
didn't get picked up by the mainstream.
because this is not easily
Yeah,
achieved.
this is a big deal.
Big
shit.
deal,
Yeah.
It's not.
I
I mean,
know.
especially to the shows that we were up against,
Yeah.
right? And then, all right, and then the following year,
Wait lang. Aren't there like lifestyle columnists, whatever, in the Philippines?
okay. Anyways, I'm just a producer. All right. So the next year,
Yeah.
I won two
Two,
Tonys in one
yes.
night.
A Raisin in the Sun and A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder.
Yes.
Wow, not one but two.
And then I danced with Hugh Jackman at the end, at the
Hugh
last,
Jackman, who's that? I mean, come on.
at the last number of the Tony Awards. So when I came out of the Radio City Music Hall, the Philippine press were there.
Because of the Hugh Jackman?
No, I don't know how they got there.
Yeah, maybe
And
it's the Hugh Jackman
And
factor.
then,
Yeah.
funny, the first question: how does it feel to win a Tony?
Oh, yun pala eh.
Well, again, and then they asked me, and I know I'm not gonna lie, and I
Yeah.
said, "You should have asked me that
Last year. Oh, so 2013.
The feeling is different."
Oh man. Yeah. So you're back to your blogger diva mode. That's it.
Oh, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's why I refuse to be interviewed like after I see something because like
Right.
I have to check myself first.
Wait, lang,
But-
can you tell me more about Hugh Jackman? Like,
Well-
is he as a nice guy as
Yes.
everyone thinks he
Yes.
is? Because he's an amazing guy.
Yes.
Everyone says he's an amazing
Yes.
guy. I mean, he's
Yes.
Aussie, right?
Yes.
I mean, Aussies are amazing people, yeah.
Except for Murder.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Aussies.
There's always one. But no,
Exception to the rule. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
He's a nice guy.
certified, genuine.
And a Broadway guy and a musical guy too,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes.
I didn't know he's that good until like Les Miserables and all of that. Like, oh, he's good. I thought he's just like,
Yeah.
although Russell Crowe, the other Australian, I don't know about his singing talents, but
Yeah.
that's it. So you were already tampo in 2014,
Yeah.
but come on, I mean. I understand the idea of frustration, right? I mean, all of us in our
I mean, it doesn't even have to be me because there was also one guy who got nominated for the Oscars for what is this? Animation.
right, na Pinoy,
Yeah.
exactly.
To me, just say something about it. Whoever it is, at least the country could cheer
Yeah.
or wish well.
But I just want to ask
Right?
that. Did your story
Go
got picked up by, first ABS-CBN or GMA News?
Or ANC in particular, ANC.
After that, 2014.
2014.
And then, lahat ng invitation sa binyag, kasal.
Mayor ka na! Mayor ka na! That's it! Mayor ka na.
Oh my God,
That's,
umulan.
yeah, that's it.
Umulan.
When it rains, you know, like
and
it
invitation to
floods.
speak,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I got so tired from the press asking, what's your story? Where did you come from? I never heard about you.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, that's why I did my documentary, Life is What You Make It.
Right,
A
right.
short documentary about my life, highlighting the importance of education from...
Yeah, but wait, you have a Grammy Award too, right? You want to talk about...
This is 2015. You're
Okay.
jumping the story.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why
Before
is the next slide already 2016? There's
No,
a
no, no.
problem with the
I know. So, and then...
the dossier. You need to
The-
update
yeah,
that.
2016 happened,
All right.
and then I went back to the Philippines because of Toim.
Right. That's where we met.
Yes.
Booyaka
batchmate.
siya. This is like 2016 kind of rings a bell. Something interesting happened. Oh, of course, it's political. Let's not
Yeah.
discuss that. Yeah.
And while I was here, the Grammy nominations came out.
Yeah, I know that. I
Yeah.
know. Proud of
And
you. Good.
Again, to be nominated, I know how many thousands of entries, but they only take 5.
Of course, yeah.
So we made it to the nomination. We're up against Cyndi Lauper.
I remember that
the
very
UK
well. Yeah.
production of Kinky Boots. We're up against Steve Martin. We're up against Sarah Bareilles,
Right.
who everyone was rooting for. Sarah Bareilles.
Right. They were
Yeah.
the fan favorite, the critic's
and then
favorite.
and then us, Color Purple, and then the other was a Fiddler on the Roof, the San Francisco Orchestra.
Oh, can you tell us? Sorry, I should have been a little bit more creative. Can you? synopsis,
Yeah.
each of this play, because I want people to go out and watch them if they can. I mean, if
Which
they're...
one? Whether or not they're all closed.
No, I mean, aren't there any like recording or anything of this
No.
Broadways, or like
No,
at
it's
least
illegal to record.
Really?
Yeah.
or I mean,
the
or-
recording stays at the Lincoln Archives.
right.
That's why you can never see anything Broadway if those are bootlegs.
Outside of Broadway.
Those are bootlegs. Those are illegal. You
I
should
know.
not watch them.
Sorry, I mean, let's call the lawyers again. No, but very quickly. So let's go through Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike.
Yeah.
Give us a synopsis.
So Chris Duran, the writer,
Right.
thought of a fun way to make Uncle Vanya funny.
Right.
So like,
Give it a twist.
yeah, siblings.
Right.
They're named after the characters from the play,
Right.
Russian play, Uncle Vanya.
Right.
So there's one celebrity, Sigourney Weaver, who left Indiana and she's now a superstar, but she's considered in Hollywood as has been.
Right. Wash up.
Yeah. But she pays for everything for the rest, the house in Indiana where the two siblings are living.
Right.
They don't work, they're just home watching the
Bums. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Welfare. They're on
Exactly,
welfare.
yeah.
They're on welfare.
So Sigourney comes home.
Right.
She doesn't know how to tell them that she needs to sell the house because she's
Right.
running out of money.
Right.
And in the process, she brings her boy toy in the house and stayed with and there was a helper,
Mm-hmm.
a Caribbean helper who does voodoo.
Oh, okay.
So it's I would say slapstick, but
Yeah. I could see what.
masterfully.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Right?
I know what you're
So
saying.
masterfully. That's why we want Tony.
And the Raisin in the Sun.
A Raisin in the Sun is a classic. It's been told one too many times.
Right.
Who's this? Will Smith did it also.
Right.
There's so many versions of it, but ours won very well because
Right.
it's
Of
Denzel
course.
Washington.
Of course.
But the cool thing about Denzel is we have the same birthday, so it was.
Can you tell us also about Denzel Washington? Like, this is
Yeah,
our
what
chance.
Yeah.
No, I mean, is he as complex? I mean, he plays very complex characters, right?
Yeah.
For me, he's one of. When I say complex, I mean it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many dimensions to him,
Yeah.
right?
Not shallow.
No, or at least, you
Yeah.
know, like, you cannot typecast him.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
I
course.
watch On the Fence ba yan, yung isang... he's just,
Fences.
yeah, he's just amazing. I mean, he's one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Denzel Washington? I mean,
Yeah.
artistically, personal...
Artistically, he's very professional.
Right.
He takes every
No
project
diva,
No.
nonsense.
No.
Oh, wow.
I've
Amazing
encountered.
person.
Oh my god! If you see
Yeah, no,
that-
let's not. That's the typical expected diva at that level, right? So that's why I'm saying Hugh Jackman, Denzel Washington, they have very good reputations, and I just want to confirm it with you.
Yeah, as producers, we have this certain list. There's the 100 list.
The blacklist.
There's preferred list.
yeah.
And there's the shit list.
Yeah, the blacklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have
Blacklisted.
shit list.
Yeah.
So we don't touch that because
Yeah.
all these actors on the. I mean, you see the writers.
Right.
They only want brown M&Ms.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know all that stuff. But
Well,
we.
just to be clear, we don't mean it in a the PC. We mean it in like in a political
The
blacklist way.
thing about
yeah,
that,
yeah.
do not ask for too much.
Yeah.
Okay? Be collaborative.
Correct. Like us, collaborative, bro. This whole thing
Yeah.
started because of this. Yeah. Wow. And now, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. That sounds very
Oh,
artistic. Yeah.
This is another flop UK film.
So you're in the business of reviving the ones that didn't work across the Atlantic, right?
Well, again, because I've studied,
Yeah, I know.
I've studied
It's the
the
accountant
forms.
in you, very systematic.
there are also iconic films
Mm.
like Rocky
Right.
from the film, and they did Broadway. They
And then-
lost $23 million.
They just burned money.
Spider-Man
Then Broadway.
went to Broadway,
They
lost $80 million.
Wow.
Okay? Bonnie and Clyde. There are so many.
Hall of Shame. The Hall of Shame of the flops.
Yeah, that's why you gotta have to know the market.
Exactly.
the
You need an
recruitment
accountant.
chart. Exactly.
What makes you parang when you see a script or you see for the play paano mo siya what would be a hit and what would be a flop.
Yeah, where do you get the instinct?
Yeah.
For, no,
Well,
yeah.
for example, when Pretty Woman, it was such big. Ooh, Pretty Woman is coming to Broadway. I was like, okay, so I saw the financials, $28 million. I can't see recoupment within 5 years.
Yeah.
That's one.
ROI
Two.
week, yeah.
Two is this is different time.
The zeitgeist, yeah.
No, yeah, we're in the feminist world now.
Right.
Even that woman in the balcony would just say, "Oh, you're throwing me a rose."
Yeah,
I can buy myself a rose.
exactly.
That would be the
I
answer.
can pay for it.
So it's sort of like outdated,
Yeah, you're
right?
right.
I love the movie, and actually the history is that the original title that was 3,000. That script stayed in the trash bin for 10 years. Okay, so all these things again before you pick up a show, you gotta know the genesis.
Sure.
Study this strategy of the company who's pitching it to you and look the capacity.
Dude, you have to write a manual. I'm serious. You know?
That's a secret.
Let's do
secret
this.
na eh.
No, I will help you. Let's do this. I mean, seriously, this is like
He'll be giving away
this is a
the
science.
secrets of his trade.
No.
You know, if I write my book about my brother, there will be a lot of people who will not talk to me. Yeah, because I can unearth, or especially when we do casting, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Like the dirty
You know,
secrets of Broadway. That will be your book.
Yes.
There, yeah, you know what I'm
You
saying.
know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
So
stuff.
I want to ask then, as a producer, you approve the plays that you will produce and the cast also. You have to.
Yeah, what's your power?
What's your?
What's your power? We want to know what.
There are different levels of producers.
Yeah.
There are those.
Yeah, can you just lay out the whole architecture?
Okay.
How
The simple definition for me for a
Okay.
producer is that
Okay,
producers are the architect and engineer of any project,
sure.
right? So from the development, from concept to development to creation and for sales.
Correct.
That's the ultimate definition of a producer for me.
Correct.
But there are levels. You can be an industrial producer, like if you own a theater, you will not charge them rent.
Right.
They will, so that the production will credit you as a producer, but you're not actually doing anything,
You're just lending the basic
Industrial
logistics.
producer. Right? You can also be an executive producer who
Right.
manages the business affairs.
That's where you come in, or
I've worn all the hats, except
Oh.
the industrial. I don't.
yeah,
want
because
to.
you have to have a maybe
Yeah.
just an extra factory there somewhere, or something like that.
No, I
Yeah.
don't. I never went in industrial theater
Yeah.
because I never owned a property.
So if someone says I'm a producer, say, don't tell me you're an industrial producer. You're just a rich guy who lent you. You're
Yeah, so-
spare factory
Yeah,
there.
so the executive producers are the management business,
Right.
management of the business. There are general partners
Right.
who are by law can represent the company legally.
Right. Especially if something goes
And
wrong.
only yes, only
Yeah.
the general partners are paid. And then there are the lead producers. The lead producers are typically not the general partners. Because general partners are usually between 2 and 3.
Right.
And mostly these are white people who are trying to keep the business.
There we go.
themselves.
That's it. That's
Yes,
it.
I can say that unfiltered because
Yeah, that's it. Let's be honest. No,
Yes.
let's call it out. Let's go.
Yes, that's why I'm sort of in hiatus about that, because if they offer me something else again,
Sure.
I gotta be elite. I have to be a general partner
That's what I'm saying.
because I have paid my dues.
Exactly. And
Right.
this is the time.
I stopped being someone else's bitch because I've done that for a while now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes. Assert your work.
That's something you have to do an Anthony Bourdain version of Broadway. You know, like all the dirty secrets of how they cook a steak in New York. You should do the Broadway version, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Jhett. You owe that to humanity, to us. You know, you should tell us. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that was that. So and then the other producers are those who just fundraise.
Yes.
So we call
That
them
we know a lot about.
co-producers.
Right.
But on Broadway, they are given credits as producers.
So they're like venture capitalists,
Yes,
essentially.
and they
Yeah.
don't necessarily attend the meetings.
Yeah.
They could be somewhere,
Yeah.
you know, in a cabana,
Yeah.
beach,
Yeah.
just because they have extra money.
Parang may hugot na naman dyan. So, industrial, and so sino yung mga ano lang, may hanash lang kasi mayaman. Yung mga ganun.
Yeah, but
We
they
need
take
them.
out.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, sure. I have nothing
They
against
also
rich
taking
people.
on risk,
Mind
diba?
you, every square inch
I know what you're
of
saying.
Manhattan is filled with multimillionaires. And they don't even blink
Yeah.
if they lost millions of dollars, because that will be just
Yeah,
a
that's
tax
just
write-off.
$100. Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, that's a tax write-off. It's for their support for the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the patrons of culture and
Yes.
civilization.
Exactly.
God bless them.
Yeah.
Thank you
Exactly.
for America. You know what I'm saying? Now let's talk about your Grammy, the color purple. I want to hear more because really color purple is my favorite. You know, I love color. You know, because of purple. My God. Go ahead, tell me.
Well,
Tell us. Sorry, tell us.
before I did produce the album,
Right.
I did the Matilda
Right.
album. We got nominated for that, and the very first album that I produced was actually Leslie Odom Jr.'s.
Nice.
Single.
Nice.
That's
nice.
why-
Nice.
Leslie told me that, Jhett, you are a VIP for life.
Right.
Because again, I just happened to be in one of the bars in New York City when he was just starting,
Right.
and he performed, and I was like, oh my God,
It's good.
this guy's gonna go places.
It's good.
Yeah. So, you know, we became friends, and he told me that he wanted to come up with their own album. I said, sure. So,
You did spot him, yeah, early on.
yes. And again, it's that's why I am grateful also for artists who are grateful when
Yeah, that's
you
very
support
important.
them from the beginning, because I saw it
Yeah.
from him. And
We're grateful to you. But
and I mean, this guy just
Yeah.
defeated Lin-Manuel Miranda
Right.
at the Tony Awards, right? Because he was Burr in Hamilton. Well, Philippines will see this in September. So Leslie Odom Jr.
Yeah,
was
everyone
the
knows
original
about Hamilton.
Burr.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and then he won the Tony over Lin for Best Actor. And then he got his Oscar nomination
Right.
for One Night in Miami.
Whoa, that sounds
Yes.
steamy. That
Exactly.
sounds
So,
very
that's
steamy.
it. That's-
Only one night and in Miami.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So, and then, you know, and at that time I was already worried about the recoupment for
The ROI.
producing
Yeah, the ROI. Yeah.
the album. Because I already saw, you know, because it's from, I saw that the disc will be gone. Because at that time, when I started producing the albums, was at Spotify,
Right.
you know. So I was like, oh my God, how can I justify this? So,
Right.
you know, I found a way to market the album to my investors. But with Color Purple, I decided that to be the last, because
Right.
I knew it was an expensive. It was a $350,000 budget to produce the album,
Yeah.
and we only did it for 2 days.
Chinipang?
Ah.
Chinipang nyo?
No.
Hindi
We can't
naman,
do
diba?
that because we have
Exactly.
union.
Exactly nga eh. Hindi nyo pwede chipang yan, diba?
Yeah, we
Makasuhan kayo ng labor
And-
abuse.
Yeah, and again, per day is
Yeah.
what the actors got for their payday,
Sure.
as dictated, mandated by the
Yeah,
contracts
yeah,
and
yeah.
by the union.
Right.
There's no shortcuts.
Exactly. Hindi
So we
chipang.
did that, and then it took us about 4.5 years to recoup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm being honest with my investors, because I have
Para sa
nothing but
bayan.
my credibility.
Para sa bayan yan. Yung mga ganyan.
Yeah,
Yeah, para sa bayan.
I can only fundraise based
Yeah.
on my credibility. So that was that, and then, you know, because I love the show, I love the revival because it just concentrated on the score in the book. The show was completely stripped down. If you've seen it on Broadway, the
Right.
background are just chairs on the wall.
Right.
Nothing revolving, nothing moves. That's it. It was stripped down.
Hmm.
And John Doyle was the director. So, yeah, and then, but then, you know, and then Waitress was on Broadway as well, and it was the favorite to won the Grammy because of Sarah Bareilles.
Right.
And then Steve Martin started his bluegrass music for his musical,
Right.
you know, and of course, we had the Kinky Boots UK production, and then the San Francisco Orchestra for Fiddler on the Roof. And I said, all right, we might have a chance. But then everybody's like, oh, it's Sarah Bareilles, Sarah Bareilles. But so that's why when I was here in December, when the announcement came out that we were nominated, so I was trying to avoid my experience from my first Tony.
Right.
That nobody went for the Philippine press.
Mm.
Because I wanted for the longest time to be interviewed on the red carpet in Tagalog.
Mm.
Talk to me in Tagalog and talk to me about my representation here.
Yeah.
Because every time I'm on the red carpet, I'm always asked, "Oh, how does it feel to work
be a-
with
yeah,
Oprah?
yeah.
How does it? How
Right.
is it working with Denzel?" And blah blah blah. So it's all generic.
Pinasabihan tayo. Why are you asking?
No, but
I'm
seriously,
kidding.
I was
I'm kidding.
here.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I called the networks.
No, you have to. You have
I
to call it
asked
out.
them,
Yeah,
Please, can you send someone?
yeah. Right.
And of course, nobody did. So I went, and then.
Let's discuss that separately because in the latter part of this podcast, I want to really talk about your understanding of not only the Philippine news but Philippine whole entertainment industry. It's a serious issue.
Yeah.
Because of Liza Sobrano really, riled up a lot of people by, in my opinion, raising some legitimate question, right? So we'll go back to that. But first, I want to understand, how did this transition to filmmaking happen? No? So you go from accountant to a Broadway producer. Next thing I know, you're doing films, including about your own life. So we have Lingua Franca, of course. We have Relive, Persuasion, and Nurse on Scene.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just the posters themselves are like, whoa, bonga. Tell me about it. Where's the transition coming from?
Well, before we do the transition, I just have to say about your
Please.
earlier point.
Yeah, please, sorry.
For the longest time, Philippines is so reactive.
Behind the curve, obviously, We're
so
definitely.
when we won the Grammy, my phone exploded.
Right.
All the networks wanting to interview me because it's the Philippines' first Grammy.
Right.
Right. That's why I leave it.
And
in
then you had
Makati.
the second.
I leave it in Makati because it's the only Grammy in the Philippines.
Wow.
Right.
So you got the
Here.
second Tony in 2 decades, and you got the first Grammy ever.
It's the first and only.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ever, right? So
ever.
I mean, you cannot get more ever than ever, right?
Yes.
What you need? No, you get what I'm saying. So that's like
So
first
sayang yung
Tony.
chance that they
Yeah,
should have
eh,
been
sa
there.
akin kasi just step away from the EJK subject and introduce something inspiring.
Wow, of course. No, I'm kidding. No, I understand what you're saying.
Just 5 minutes.
No, I
Kasi
understand.
pero kasi
No.
parang nung huli, di ba? Like, for example, yung si Dolly.
Yeah.
Yun,
Right,
di ba?
yeah, I know
There
what
were news about that and ano.
Yeah, at least again, at least there's a buzz. And
I think things are changing.
In my
Exactly.
time, that did not happen.
No, but I think you are like the beginning of this nudging the Philippines to wake up to the global recognition that these people are getting. So
I feel for the rest also the
No, but
Filipinos that did not
get any
mentioned.
Yeah, but in a way, you kind of paved the way by shaming them into stepping up to the plate, right?
I'm just saying
It's
it
hard
as it
to
is.
deny someone who got the first Tony in more than 20 years, first Grammy ever, right? Like, and medyo mataray, di ba? So like, umayos kayo, di ba? And twice in award ni Duterte. Not Duterte's award, but Duterte just happened to be the president, 2016 and 2018. How can I say without being political? Kamusta si Tatay Digong? Did he look better through the years, or like is it the same, or like?
No.
Basta malambot yung kamay niya. Yun yung pinakamatalo ko sa kanya, malambot.
You were there during our
Yeah,
GY
yeah.
2016. That hardly happened because
Yeah.
it was his first time.
Yeah.
First year as president, so that hardly happened. But nevertheless, it happened. I'm glad, grateful. What a complete shock to me was I was invited back to present for the presidential
Yeah, I saw
award.
that. Yeah.
So, all right, and he's cordial.
Yeah.
He's better.
Very
and,
cordial, yeah.
Yeah. So again, I took it for my representation. The other noise around me has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So there are those who told me, "Why are you accepting it?"
Yeah, but he just happened to be the
exactly. I
He's-
mean, this
he-
is for me. This is
No,
not for
and the
anyone
award
else.
is not the Duterte Award,
Yeah.
pamana ng Hindi siya
Yeah.
Duterte Outstanding. No, it's a
Yeah.
Philippine award. It just happened he's the El Presidente, right? So
Yeah.
it's unfair to you to put it on you. No?
Yeah.
And I can
But-
vouch for you. Your
Yeah.
heart is in the right place.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
I know that. We don't want to. We don't need to say
Yeah.
more. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
I'll 100% vouch for
I'm
you.
happy also that I think succeeding year he invited the Waikopa.
Yeah, exactly,
And,
exactly.
'cause
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the first time that they got to
Yeah.
Malacanang. So I'm so happy about that.
I know.
Anything about the artistic sport, woohoo! I'm good. But I mean,
Mm.
just like with when I say about reactive, NCCA. I'm sorry, I have to name this. They presented me.
Makasuhan
No,
na.
no, 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 no.
No, go ahead, go
I
ahead.
can appreciate that
Yeah,
they
yeah, I'm just
recognized,
kidding, yeah.
they gave me the Ani ng Dangal
Right, right,
2016
right.
for my awards for 2013 and 2014.
Medyo, my God, ito yung naipit sa Shopee nung in-order ng 2013, dumating ng 2016, 17. Yun.
Medyo,
Okay lang yan.
sabi, the guy when you reach out to me.
Filipino time.
Wait, sandali, what happened?
Yeah, Filipino time.
So,
Yeah.
yun yung inoko na that they are very reactive.
No, but it's...
And even
Yeah.
too late for... Nauna pa sila si SM
Ano
sa
ka ba?
kanila.
Ano ka mag... Bata ka pa, hindi siya late. Bata ka pa, hindi ka naman, God forbid na di ba?
Pero when you were talking to them, were there any parang we want to support you, meron bang ganun coming from
Which one?
from any government organization?
It's reversed, to be honest with you.
Like how you can help them, yeah.
I hosted a dinner for another organization because
Right.
I'm trying to lobby. I had the franchise. I can get the franchise for Warhorse at that time. I wanted to bring it here to the Philippines, open it up for 6 months. I want the government to finance it. Tuesday
Right.
to Thursday, I'll pay back the government with tickets. One night for PNP, one night for BIR, one night for Department of Labor. Those are because I wanted to develop the audiences.
Right,
Okay, give them the tickets for free. This is what the government's getting out of the financing that they're giving the show. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was gonna sell it to our neighboring countries because they could never get this franchise of this. And then we tie it up with the airlines and the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. The whole,
That
the whole
was
business model,
Yeah. Well, and then I just learned that that particular organization had only 400 million peso annual budget, and half of it was dedicated to the restoration of the man. So I can't touch that. So long story short, Japan got the franchise. Yeah.
Japan, sagot sa ano?
Yeah.
Japan talaga. Japan talaga.
No, pero speaking about that, yung situation ng mga theater sa Pilipinas, do you follow yung mga nangyayari
I
dito?
do.
How
I
is
try.
it? How is it now?
Again, my first try when I brought Andrew Keenan Bolger,
Right,
the
right,
star
right.
of Newsies.
Right.
We did 3 concerts. It was okay, and then I learned that it's hard to sell because when you produce a show here, you gotta have to go with a family dynamic.
Yeah.
That's why other
right,
productions are like it's a gold mine. Like if it's
Right.
not family oriented,
Ah,
because family goes with the children. That's 3 or 4
Package
tickets
deal
for
na
you.
yan, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard.
Boom.
So that's why I realized, when it's not gonna be funded by anyone, I'm not gonna. It's not because there are only 35,000 theater goers in Metro Manila.
Yeah.
So you divide that with so many production companies, right? Beta, Rap, Bobby Garcia's company, Upstage. There's so many
Yeah.
of them, and then you divide. They only do weekend shows. So and the traffic.
Traffic, exactly. I want to say, yeah.
Yes, the traffic. So it's unlikely if it's not a popular franchise. It's very hard to sell. So I feel for the Filipinos because only very few can take a flight directly to New York and have the experience of Broadway.
so how do you think we can grow that? Yung 35,000 na theater goers.
Well, that was my idea for Warhorse
Warhorse.
originally.
Yeah.
Sayang,
Because
sayang.
I wanted the government money, but I will
Man,
pay it back
Japan
with
kasi.
tickets to develop the audiences,
I know.
right? And give them to each department in the government
Sow the seeds.
or
yeah.
high school or college students.
Yeah.
Give
Even better, yeah.
right because we need to develop
Develop,
audiences. And you know what? You will never develop an audience if you charge them. You
Yeah,
gotta give
exactly.
Somebody has to pay for it.
Mm.
Good.
Yeah, that was that. But I had a successful run here for M Butterfly
Mm.
because Front Row reached out to
Front
me.
row.
And
I
they had-
watched that. Napanood ko
Yeah,
yun.
they had the marketing budget, and
I
I,
saw
told
I
RS.
saw your
RS
posts,
told
yeah.
to be honest, I didn't know RS before. I asked everyone else before I replied to him. because I need someone to verify. So, yeah, and then I ended up inviting him to the Tony Awards.
Yeah.
So, and he said, Jhett, I want you to bring the Broadway experience to the Philippines. I said, oh, I always wanted to do that. But
Exactly. Yeah.
I said, I can do that, but please do not question my decisions,
Mm.
right? Because this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
And guess what? I got David Henry Huang, the
Right.
writer, to fly
Wow. Yeah.
from New York to Manila and gave a free workshop.
Mm.
We did 21 performances. I did Tuesday to Sunday, regular Broadway schedule.
Right.
Our opening night was so
New York
spectacular.
style,
Yeah, I mean,
New York
my God,
style.
Yeah,
even
sa BGC na.
right, the theater.
The
I
theater.
mean,
Good.
We really, and then it was so successful that we had to take it to Iloilo, Dumaguete, and Cebu. So we packed everything, the set, the
Right.
lights, the sound, put it in a Roro, shipped them,
Right.
and did 6 performances in those cities.
Wow.
And this is the other thing that I told RS and Sam Versosa, that I didn't want it to be a for-profit because it's their marketing budget.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, we decided to give all the 15 million peso revenue to 33 charities nationwide.
Nice.
Yeah, so lahat from the Animal Society
Right.
to the farmers in Palawan, the artists from Baguio.
2019, 18?
Yeah.
Was it 2019, right?
Yeah.
Ganun
Just
ba?
before pandemic to,
Yeah,
di ba?
Teach for the Philippines.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Our good friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So each of them got between 500 to 650,000 pesos.
Yeah, maybe next time Project Filipinas. Maybe you wanna.
Listen.
maybe you wanna.
I can sing.
We need an accountant. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just before we transition to the film
Yeah.
part, because this is the other part of your artistic and
Yeah.
accounting producer. Lea Salonga is of course perhaps the best known Filipina as far as Broadway now is concerned, right? I mean something like that.
All right.
What's up? Like, what do you want to discuss next time?
No, I did bring it up.
Yeah, what's up with
the transition.
yeah.
The transition.
Yeah, what's up
Okay,
with Les?
So I know that there is.
Yeah.
This is the biggest question that everyone.
Yeah.
Because I have been working on Here Lies Love off Broadway.
Right, right.
This is the first time that I'm addressing it in public.
Mm.
So I've been a part of the off-Broadway production since 2014. We
Mm.
had a 2-year successful run off-Broadway. We did 6 months at the National Theatre
Right.
in London, and we did 81 performances in Seattle, which we sold 30,000 tickets. Okay. It was a pure concept because it's disco, it's not a proscenium theater. So anyways, we were trying to see how we could present that in a proscenium theater.
Right.
So we formalized everything and all that ready to go. And then 2017 I started working with a certain producer to produce it on Broadway.
Right.
And I've reached out to people, from the team of Bruno Mars, Nicole Scherzinger, even Enrique Iglesias.
Parang ang daming Pinoy yan.
Of
Puro
course,
mga half Pinoy.
again, I'm a
Yeah.
commercial producer.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to ensure
Yeah.
that the ticket sales would be, because again, I know recoupment chart
Exactly, yeah,
and how many capacities in which particular theater and product in my sleep.
Yeah. Surgical approach. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I'm only gonna be a part of the show if I'm a general partner.
Correct. Yeah.
And I told you earlier the difference.
Yeah.
So when it was offered to me and not a general partner, I said no.
Yeah.
Because again, I paid my dues.
Right, right.
And
You're
I'm-
not gonna be someone's.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I
I'm
see.
happy that the show is moving forward, but again, for the life of me, in everything that I've done,
Mm.
in my own terms, nobody helped me, to build a Filipino
Yeah.
name on Broadway.
Right, right.
So I think nobody can take that away from me. If I have to stand up and say I'm worthy of being a general partner,
Yeah.
not just a lead producer, a general partner, because I will be I'm always fiduciarily responsible to my investors.
Yeah.
If the stop clause is insured by the industrial partner,
Right.
I want all the lead producers to even interpret it. So that's my point. And then again, the budget ballooned from the original that we talked about, so I cannot make the economics.
Yeah, surprise,
So,
surprise.
Yeah.
Budget
Anyways,
line, yeah.
that's that. And in the meantime, I've been busy with films anyway.
Exactly. So we have
Yeah.
we mentioned the 4 films: Relief, Asian Persuasion, Nurse Unseen, Lingua Franca. Where is this all coming from? The inspiration, the artistic, creative
While I was
juices. Yeah.
while I was racking up some accolades up there, up north, some of our artists here in the Philippines started writing to me.
Ah, I see.
Jhett, how can you help us?
Umuwi ka na. Yeah.
No, they want me
No,
to
I'm
take
just
them
yeah,
there.
yeah, I know, yeah. Umuwi ka na
Right.
tapos dalhin mo kami dyan. Ganun,
Because-
yeah.
The contents here are not the ones that they want.
Right.
Like
They feel it.
Jacqueline Jose won Best Actress in Cannes Film Festival. Why has she not broken into Hollywood? Please, someone tell me.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying.
Now we have John Arcelia,
Yeah.
Best Actor, Venice,
Yeah.
defeated Jeremy Cumberbatch.
Right. No, that was legit. That was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
wow.
I hope something is, happening
And
for him.
Dolly hasn't done too bad too. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly. She's
yeah.
again our golden girl.
So
But
yeah.
we have that, right? It's just somebody has to take us there.
Yeah.
So
Next
in my very
level.
limited resources and network, I'm trying my best. So my first try was Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, this is it.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Before I talk about
We
that,
need a whole episode just for Crazy Rich Asians.
No, before I talk about
Sige
that,
lang.
I just want to differentiate the business between Broadway and film.
Okay.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Like
Yeah.
again, give us the architecture.
Yeah. So on Broadway, this live entertainment will always have my heart
Of course.
because there's no edit.
Right.
You remember the EGOT?
Yeah, of course.
Remember
of course.
the EGOT,
yeah,
Emmy,
yeah,
Grammy,
yeah,
Oscar,
yeah,
Tony?
Yeah.
Only Tony is live.
Right.
The rest are edited.
Right.
And they're effects.
Exactly.
Only Tony. Oh, somebody died. You just got divorced.
Mm,
You're not feeling well. There's the stage.
yeah.
It's different every time.
Right. It's raw.
So,
it's raw.
It's the most
authentic.
respected among
The
EGOT.
4. Yeah. The
Right.
big 4. Yeah.
Exactly. So my heart will always be in live entertainment.
Because it's authentic and raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a commercial producer.
Yeah.
All the Broadway all the Broadway shows that are being pitched to me, and I see them north of $10 million. I cannot make the economics for that.
So you have a threshold. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, there's a threshold.
Especially for a show, for a musical that doesn't have an orchestra.
Right. Because the orchestra puts it on a different level.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If you have an
yeah.
orchestra, you can dictate
Exactly.
for $25 million
Yeah,
and up.
It's a different level.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so there's that. And again, I'm always responsible to my investors because it's my credibility at stake.
Correct.
I don't
correct.
care if you have Jesus Christ in your cast.
Mm.
It's not gonna recoup.
So you have to watch out for the talent fees of some
Yeah,
of the
unless
stars.
they don't care about money. That okay, yeah.
I see.
It's not. Yeah, you invest here, you're not gonna get it back. If they're okay with that, sure, you have a show. But my investors are not like that. They care about money too.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's Broadway, and we do that 8 times a week live.
8 times a week.
Yes.
Like which day gets twice a day or like
only
a,
Mondays are dark.
Oh right.
Tuesdays and Saturdays are 2 shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Doble cara. Yeah.
Right. That's that. What I
Saturday makes sense.
yeah, filmmaking.
Totally
I was-
different ball game. Yeah.
I only have to do shoot a film between 4 to 8 weeks tops.
Right.
It lives on forever. The revenue stream is very expansive.
Yeah.
The box office,
Yeah.
the streaming services. The pandemic has once again proven that the number one man's pastime is
Mhm.
entertainment.
Mm.
That's why all these streaming services rushed in opening branches all over the world.
Yeah.
Because people are at home
Yeah.
watching.
Gold
They
rush
want
yan eh. Yeah.
Content.
Yeah.
Content.
Uy, alam mo yan. Content creator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah.
And then, I'm done with the Asian representation and all that stuff. They're all good. But with the win of Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Say
the
24.
door is wide open. it's time now to have an alternative from like A24. I'm not sure, for those who are familiar with
Yeah.
A24, it's a great production and distribution company.
Right.
They champion minority stories. I
Right.
respect them. But the company they're trying to put up, it's all 100% AAPI
Mm.
from the top down.
Yeah.
Because I know we can do it. I know we have the money.
Yeah, it's not a niche thing. Let's go for
No.
it. Let's go for
I'm
gold.
just
Yeah.
like, good for them that they started it,
Yeah.
but for the life of me, I want our representation to be 100% legit.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
They started, they paved the way. Great. But in terms of, they've been making money for the past a long time.
Yeah.
But my model is only one person that I have all of my respect.
Right.
Mickey Lee.
Right. Legit.
She's
Yeah.
the granddaughter of Samsung.
Right.
She doesn't have to do anything. She's the granddaughter of electronic and cosmetic
Yeah.
and grocery
Behemoth. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah.
But in 1993, Spielberg thought of developing a new style of filmmaking,
Mm.
the digital,
Right.
streaming and all that. And Mickey Lee, she always had a heart for entertainment. Before that, she started investing in small independent films
In Korea.
in Korea.
Yeah.
When you do that, your name comes up on IMDb,
Right.
the database of movies.
Right.
So Spielberg's team wanted to find a very savvy investor outside of the Hollywood spectrum. They found Mickey Lee.
Right.
Spielberg sought a meeting. They met. He pitched to Mickey Lee. After the meeting, she wrote Spielberg $300 million
Right.
in 1993. Spielberg then created SKG Group that gave birth to DreamWorks.
So that's really the nexus between Korea and Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Which is not this. Everyone thinks
I
like.
have to make that record straight. Without the Korean money, there's no DreamWorks.
Right, and without the Spielberg connection, I don't think Korea
Yeah.
would. I'm saying like there's a nexus there.
Yeah.
It has to be appreciated.
Exactly.
Korea has that, which no one comes close in Asia or in the world for that matter, right?
Mickey Lee did not stop there.
Of course,
She was just an
this is just
investor.
exactly
She
yeah.
was just an investor.
It's
in
just the
SKG
beginning.
Group. She was
Yeah.
like, I want to call the shots.
See, kailangan natin mga oligarchs.
Kailangan.
I want to call the
You
shots.
need the
So
enough
she-
na oligarch.
She opened up CJ Entertainment,
Right.
Okay. Oh.
and then she started.
Connecting the dots.
Her vision and their mission is train Korean artists, export them, and bring the money back home.
Wow, that's the,
The
beginning.
first group
yeah.
that she released, BTS.
Yeah, makes sense why they're so
And
big.
they're Blackpink, and then of course
Yeah.
Parasite is hers, Squid Game.
Ano sa movie? Train to Busan yata.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw.
Everything you have to
Yeah.
trace the mother company, the holding company.
It
the
goes
CJ.
back to her. Yeah,
It's
she's the
her.
godmother of the,
Anything
yeah.
about K-pop, it's Mickey Lee.
The whole K-wave, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Pretty much. So
But hindi ganun yung mga oligarchs na.
Like, that's
well, that's why I'm here.
Right?
you know?
You got
I'm
millionaires.
looking for my own.
Yeah,
Filipino
exactly.
Mickey.
I wanted to just say, But before we talk about your Filipino Mika, let's talk about Chris Aquino.
Oh.
Right? I heard
Punta
from
tayo sa Crazy
someone.
Rich Asians, di ba?
Exactly.
Oh.
Like, I heard you had you were part of the conspiracy to have a Filipina in there in that, quintessential movie of the 21st century.
It wasn't a conspiracy.
Like, what was going on there?
No, was that 2017?
Well, she thanked you publicly, so,
No. Yeah.
wala na NDA yan.
I know. 2017 pa, yeah. So my cohorts in Hollywood called me and asked me if I've heard about Crazy Rich Asians.
Right.
I said, I heard that somewhere. What is it?
Yeah.
It's by Kevin Kwan. It's a novel. Oh, I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want from me? And he was like, well, then, confidentially, Warner buys the novel.
For
the
production,
movie.
yeah.
I said, okay, so why are you calling me? He's like, well, I want you to, maybe you know someone with this particular, that would be good
attributes.
for this particular characters.
Yeah.
And of course he told me blah blah blah. And I said, You're describing.
Okay. That person actually exists. You just gave me a biodata of an actual existing person.
And then he said, yes, we're familiar of her, but
Can you vouch for her?
Can you get her?
Oh, yeah.
I said, sure.
Sure, because you were besties?
I know of her. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I've never met her.
Oh, yeah.
I just said, sure.
Yeah.
I said, how much time do I have? 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And that time.
That could be a whole short story novel in itself, right? How I got Chris Aquino.
But and I was about to watch Hamilton on Broadway.
Right.
I had to turn my phone off. That's 3 hours.
Yeah, that's a long show. Yeah.
Worth it.
Right.
And then so after I'm done with Hamilton, I turn my phone off. It's exploding.
Right.
With text messages, voicemail, Viber, WhatsApp, Messenger, voicemail, text.
Right.
It's Chris Aquino.
Surprised! I'm so surprised.
Yeah, I ended up talking to her for like about 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And I was convincing her to make.
Aquinos like to talk a lot.
Yeah.
It's like when you talk to them, they talk a lot.
Yeah. I I told her what's at stake, and I said, can you make an audition tape? Oh my God! Go to audition. So that was
Production.
Yeah, I was surprised by her answer, and I said, okay, I can go to another actress. I'm just not gonna mention because she's gonna get mad at me. But I have an alternative.
Yeah, I can think of.
But then Chris like, okay, wait, I'll do it.
That's it.
And then she delivered. She went to one venue that I did not approve, and I said, no, that's not rich enough.
Oh yeah.
And she panicked because I need something rich.
Really decadent, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, Gatsby-esque. Gatsby-esque, yeah.
But she delivered. Again, she got a presidential suite of one hotel that I don't have to name.
Parang alam ko yan.
Yeah, sure. And then, because I've seen everyone's video audition tape.
Medyo, kailangan tapatan. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm so glad that Chris listened to me.
Nga tang bandila.
Yeah, and of course we signed a year exclusive first before I did anything.
Yeah.
And
as talent manager or something?
As her rep, because she doesn't have any representation in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
Or outside of the Philippines. So I did that, and then it happened, and.
Do you have any regrets? No, I'm just kidding. No, she did well.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The bottom line is, Princess Intan was not in the script.
Oh, so it's like superimposed or like?
No.
I
was just adamant for her to be in the film. That she has to be somewhere.
She really loved it.
Mind you, what our takeaway for the film is, her character is the most respected and most feared of. Do you agree? But naturally, the Filipinos are like, ay, dinaanan lang ng camera.
Yeah.
They have no idea how much it took to get that spot for somebody from the Philippines.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are clueless.
Yeah.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
No, but you cannot blame people because you didn't write the book about the showbiz. You see, I'm saying, like, people don't have any idea about.
That was my first try for international film.
I know. This is saying people don't even have an idea of the levels you need to be in that universe. Yeah. Forget about the center. Just to be in that galaxy, you have to be levels. And I think.
And again, I admit I had to lie that I knew her.
But maybe in an alternative life you were kind of soulmates. I can see you can work together well.
It was a white lie.
Yeah.
And then Chris came up, with an article on PEP that said, "Thank you, Jhett Tolentino, for opening the Hollywood."
So walang NDA,
and there you go. And then nabash ako.
Yeah, but don't worry. Bashing is good. Take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment.
I left Facebook and Twitter 3 years ago. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
So that was that. Again, I was just doing something para sa bayan.
Yeah, of course.
Opening doors and.
No, it's not like you didn't get your own.
Yeah.
You already got the shiny stuff on your wall, so it's time to give back. I think you're doing a fantastic thing. It's not. I think it's just a logical next step for a Filipino successful
And
like you.
yeah, and then I got the script of Lingua Franca.
Boom! Which is now let's talk about it. Is the creative process like universe apart from the Broadway, or like is it a smooth, seamless transition for you
Well,
at least?
The development process is somewhat similar.
Okay,
How it starts is from a concept,
correct.
right? A concept from somebody. It might be a writer or just a regular person,
Right,
and this person either writes it or goes to a writer to write it.
right.
And then the writer finishes it,
Mhm.
and then if it's ready, they look for a producer
Correct.
to develop it.
Right.
And Lingua Franca has been trying to make it to a film 2 years before I got in.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, there was an original producer for that film, and I was the last party to join.
Nice.
Because my concentration is commercial producing.
Correct. That's your
Yeah.
PhD. Yeah.
The other producer is concentrating on some grants.
Mm.
I know some producers who are like that, But again, grant money is great, but it's not gonna finish the film.
Yeah.
They will just give you $5,000-10,000.
It just gets the ball rolling. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still the commercial money
Right.
that you will need to make a film. So, I first of all, I cannot believe I met Isabel Sandoval a year before I got hold of the script. I never thought that she's trans because she's so damn pretty. It was Cherie Hill who introduced me to Isabel Sandoval, right? And then a year later, I got the script. Isabel didn't tell me when we met. She didn't tell me that she's a filmmaker, whatsoever. We were just in a bar loud, and we were, just drinking. And then a year later, I get the script, and then I
Right.
was like, wait, this name is familiar. Where
Right.
do I know this girl?
Yeah.
So of course, I was on Facebook still, and I was like, oh my God, we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I messaged her. I was like, girl, I got yours.
Yeah. That's it.
Can we meet? I have some
That's
notes.
it.
Because that's my try. I have to meet the writer or the director for if it's combination. I have to see if they're collaborative.
Yeah.
Because on Broadway,
You gel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to work with only collaborative people.
Correct.
I have met with some writers and directors, and they were like, "Oh, you want to change my script?
Yeah.
You have to talk to my agent."
Right.
That would be a no for me. I know it will be produced or whatsoever. I just can't work.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
people
You
like
don't
that.
want to do that. Yeah.
Exactly. But when I
Yeah.
met with Isabel and I told her about my notes, she was very accommodating.
Yeah.
So there was revision,
Boom.
and I was like,
That's
okay.
it.
And within 8 months, I've raised all the funds needed to shoot it. Yeah, and then I pitched to a network here, and they want to change the ending.
Huh.
And as a
Because the
producer,
ending was
they
politically or
No, no, no,
creatively
no.
problematic. Or...
They wanted for what's gonna work for Philippine.
Ah, yeah.
audiences.
The sentimental, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, ending matters to Filipinos.
E-
Just like
exactly.
Americans, yeah.
And that's where I
Couldn't
My foot
compromise.
down.
Yeah, hindi pwede.
I was like, no.
Ending matters, yeah.
These concept is non-negotiable.
Mm.
And I'm so glad that I left. Because if I took their money and the ending would have been different, we would have not premiered at the 76th Venice Film Festival.
Yeah, right.
And we won in 10 countries. Isabel Sandoval actually defeated Frances McDormand.
Right.
Frances won the Oscar, but in Russia, Isabel won Best Actress. And 2 days ago, BFI London came up with a top 10 film that I put it on my Instagram about the male gaze in the story.
Right.
Lingua Franca from 1920 films.
Oh wow,
They
this is a
gathered-
century.
Yes.
Oh wow.
A century
That's
old.
crazy.
Lingua Franca is in top 9.
Oh.
Wow.
Exactly. So, small wins like that. Because I personally want to uplift the Philippine cinema.
Yeah, but that's because you held the ground in terms of the artistic integrity.
Yeah. I am
Didn't
just
get the cheap money for artistic
I am
compromise.
just not focusing on the Filipino audiences. I don't dismiss that it's important.
It's
for
important,
the base.
but you cannot compromise
Yes,
the core values.
But again,
yeah,
the way I observed it, I watched a movie from the Metro Manila Film Festival last year. There are big names there. Every time, every December, they come up with these big Pinoy names.
right.
And then the box office last December was so clear that Filipino audiences have gone smarter.
Definitely. Yeah, the level of is
Yeah.
super high. Thanks also
Because
to
the
streaming.
big names,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
lost a lot of money.
Right, right.
But the leader was number one, and it
Right.
rightfully so won a lot of awards. So I hope the production companies and the networks learned from December that for the life of God, please come up with contents.
yeah.
I mean, stop with the patawawan na walang kabuluhan.
Okay. Hey, here we go.
I mean, I'm
Liza
just saying-
Serrano joined the group.
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
mention anybody,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying,
No, no, no.
please,
She's
we deserve
critical.
so much better.
That's what I'm saying. No, no, no. I mentioned Liza Serrano in a good way because she.
Oh, she said that?
No, she said something like masyadong formulaic na may parang masyadong
love
template.
team and-
Yeah, ganon. She got a
Okay.
lot of backlash, but
So
actually,
she's a bit more polite than
she
I
said
am.
essentially what you're saying. From her, short, relatively brief, I would say, foray into Hollywood, she kind of realized this is the world-class level.
Again,
Yeah.
because we have so many great actors: Jericho Rosales, Judy Santamaria, John Arceo,
Yeah, it's a long list.
Noni
Yeah.
Buencamino,
Yeah.
Jacqueline Jose, Angel
Yeah.
Aquino. I mean, the list goes on.
So yun ang itatanong ko, how do we get them across to Hollywood? How do we get them attention towards them
Yeah.
from major
Well, that's
studios?
That's where
Wait.
my company comes in.
Right.
Again, I'm taking a hiatus from Broadway because as long as the offer to me doesn't start with a general partner, I'm not
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
produce
yeah.
anything
That's the
on
red
Broadway.
line now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that I'm done.
That's it. Yeah.
Again, this is what I deserve, and I'm claiming it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
So in the meantime, I'm happy making films, and I'm creating a space for our great Filipino artists in the film industry.
Right, right.
So because all my films, I just wrapped Asian Persuasion with Casey Concepcion,
Right, right.
Dante Basco, Kevin Kreider from Bling Empire is there, and I had so many cameos for like Apple Diab, Rachel
Right.
Alejandro, Yam Concepcion, Tony Labrusca. They're all in. So hopefully we will roll Asian Persuasion later this year.
It's so witty, right? Every great marriage could use a good divorce. I love it. It's so good. I mean, it's so modern, good,
This is
funny, dark comedy. Yeah,
my
I love it.
This is my feature directorial debut. By
It's
the way.
super good. Yeah.
So my silent politics there is it's my support for divorce.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, sure.
Because Filipino, especially women, are afraid that they will be left with nothing.
Yeah.
That is not true. Well, as long as you're not the one who,
Yep. Went
had the other
haywire.
affair.
Went off the rails. Yeah.
Yes, as long as you put your shit together,
Yeah, exactly.
you're in good hands.
You're good. Yeah.
So this is the kind of movie because all my films are empowering women.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pushing for the elevation.
The feminine power. Yeah.
That women take their own agency, that they can
Yeah.
decide for themselves.
Right. Right.
So those are my sort of motive for all of my films. And I'm hoping that to be rolled out later this year in the Philippines.
Looks very
Will be
interesting.
coming sa cinema or sa
Theater.
platform?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nurse Unseen.
Nurse Unseen is a feature documentary that
Ah.
world premiered at the 47th Cleveland International.
Right.
That's an Oscar qualified festival, and we
Right.
won the global health competition.
Nice.
And
Yeah. Especially after pandemic, right?
Yeah, no. But Nurse Unseen is a feature documentary about
Right.
we unearthed the history of why Philippines is the number one nurse producer in the world.
Right.
We delve deeper into the 1960s, from the Magna Carta, from
Yeah,
the US, because US came here. It was not an accident.
Yeah, of course. It was a policy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it was a
this is it.
Story.
This is the very particular documentary that we need to watch to understand the history of Filipino nurses.
Nurse phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. Yeah.
It's a historical piece.
Yep. And then Relive.
Relive is for Marisol Soriano. I'm
Mm.
producing with Rosario Dawson. We will shoot this hopefully in spring on Guam.
Yeah.
That's what I've been.
A Tale of an American Island Cheerleader.
Yeah, I've been going in and out of Guam since October.
Which is just nearby. I mean, it's
I know it's
like,
3.5, but
yeah.
not from New York. you
Not
know.
from. I mean, from the Philippines. I mean, yeah.
I've taken 4 trips from New York to Guam already
Jeez,
since
that's
October.
that's far. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm lobbying for the local Senate to give me a $3 million tax credit for the film.
In Guam.
Yeah, because they don't have film industry there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what. I had to Google. Where
They
it's
got a
from.
military base. They got a big.
Bases,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
3.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So but it's amazing because it's like Philippines with better system. if
No, I
can
mean, it was
say.
part of
'Cause
the.
it's the United States.
No, it was part of the Spanish Imperium.
Yeah.
You know, Philippines and all were together.
Yeah.
We're the same package, and then later on they went on their
Again,
own. Yeah,
you know, it's a small island with only 170,000
Yeah.
population. A third is Filipino,
yeah.
right?
Many Ilocanos, I suppose. My
Exactly.
people. Yeah.
But they have 5-star hotel, 5-star beaches.
Sure.
And of course, all the road system is all United
Matino.
States.
Yeah.
So I feel at ease
yeah. Safe.
and comfortable
Yeah.
because I can apply whatever I've been, accustomed to 20
Yeah.
years in New York.
And not as expensive as Honolulu, right? Is it? Like how's?
I have to admit,
'Cause
I've never
Honol-
been to Hawaii.
Oh, you have. Hawaii is a bit pricey.
Well,
yeah.
again, this is an island, so everything is
Imported.
imported.
Yeah.
even produce
Yeah, exactly.
coming from
Yeah,
either
yeah,
Australia
yeah.
or the Philippines.
Yeah, I know.
So, everything is the gas there when I left. It's $5.49 a gallon.
Quite
It's
expensive.
a lot.
Yeah, it's
In
a
the
lot.
meantime, in New York, it's $3.99.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like 40% more expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The toothpaste there is like $2
Jeez.
more expensive than New York. So
Then they must be earning well there in order to survive.
well, it's
Pretty decently, yeah.
It's a territory of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
United
yeah.
States, so they don't pay federal taxes. That's why they keep it for the island.
Right.
But then, how they survive the tourism, the sales tax for hotels is 11%. So that's what funds on top of what the Washington D.C. gives. I've learned a lot because again, I'm
No,
lobbying.
exactly. You need to know the numbers.
Yes.
You want to do a big project like that, especially in
Yeah.
Guam, which is quite an exotic place even to us Filipinos. Like first
Yeah.
time I passed through Guam, I was like, this is like Philippines and kind of Hawaii, and it's like kind of different,
Yeah.
you know.
Its accounting background comes in handy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. You actually kind of remind me of, I'm sure you have your eyes, I mean, Mendoza, director Mendoza, right? He comes from an advertising background and he transitioned into arts and director Mendoza. And
Oh, he's accounting background too.
I'm not sure accounting, but corporate
Okay.
world, right? So kind of numbers guy too, and I think
Yeah.
that really helped it. And we also know a lot of novelists had engineering background, like
Yeah.
Tolstoy and Dostoevsky. Both of them had kind of an engineering background. So people who do numbers and engineering tend to transition very successfully into production, entertainment production, because you have to have an
Yeah.
idea of sustainability and numbers and all of that. And
Yeah.
so I see that I see you in that kind of mold. Yeah.
I have my high respect for our 3 masters. I call them masters.
Yeah.
You know,
The
and
magnificent
Mati-
three. Yeah.
Exactly. Eric Mati, Love Diaz, and Brillante Mendoza.
And this is where I want to go to the last part of our discussion. I know we can go on forever, but I can see your eyes. You've been awake
I've
for
been
a
out since 5.
I know. Maybe you want to drink first. Go
I
ahead.
did.
Go ahead. Well, I'll bola.
Yeah.
Talk. No. Now let's go really to the Philippines, and let's be as honest but constructive as possible.
Yeah.
No, so last month maybe I got into trouble, right? Because I kind of I mean, I don't pretend to know all of the latest series in the Philippines and all of that. So, but me being me and a loudmouth me, right? I want to get the ball rolling. So I said something. So Liza Sobrano kind of ruffled a lot of feathers by questioning the whole love team and the whole Formalic stuff and all. And I kind of did right on that. And her point was she was also raising concern about the talent free breakdown. Like some talents just got a very 1/4, 20% talent. Anyway, so may pagka-expose mode si Liza, and she got a huge backlash.
Oh.
Very huge backlash.
Okay.
And a good friend of mine, OG Diaz, I think she was hurt and medyo nag-respond siya.
Yeah.
But by the time I interviewed her, Mommy Diaz, Mama G, she was feeling
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
right? But nevertheless, for me, I saw that as an opening to come in and say something about, hey, maybe we need to level up. And I kind of said, look at Korea. I'm not a fan of K-Wave, to be honest. I did taekwondo from like 7, 8 year old. I have enough. I had so much Korean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love kimchi and all, but I'm not really into the K.
Yeah.
But I just said, we can learn a thing or two from Koreans. No, and thank you so much for mentioning that connection, that very important Spielberg.
Yeah.
And anak ng oligarch connection. That's very important because we need that in the Philippines too.
Yeah.
No? What is your understanding of where the Philippine entertainment industry is in general? Because I noticed, in fairness, like if you go to Netflix right now, it's not too hard to find Filipino productions that are number one in movies or series. Like Maria Clara for series, and then a good friend of our John Gibbs, Hello Universe, like number one. Din. Like there were
yung Voltes 5 Legacy.
yeah. But usually, kasi you see like Korean, like I don't know, European, Korean, then one Filipino. Like it's like for me as a Filipino going to Netflix and saying it's mostly Koreans in top 10 of everything, and now saying a little bit more Filipinos there. I mean, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that.
I'll be so much in trouble for this.
And that's why I brought you here, and that's why we got you. You want to drink a little bit more before?
No.
Yeah. Huminga.
Okay.
Yeah. Constructive tayo. We're not here to be.
Okay, I understand.
We're very constructive.
I understand why the networks are coming up with. I call this walang kabuluhan films because there's a market for it. Right? Filipinos prefer that. They prefer to laugh. They prefer, light entertainment.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because life is hard.
Exactly.
I mean, life is hard. Everyday grind.
Yeah. And again, for the longest time, a lot of industries have been supported by that. Please again, take my harshness with the salt.
Yeah, and you know what you're talking about.
My frustration is from the fact that there's still not one Filipino film that made it to the Oscars. Okay?
Yeah.
That's where my frustration is coming from. Nothing to do with what other Filipinos prefer.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, when you look at the bigger spectrum, Philippines is not even part of a market in Southeast Asia. I've done so many distribution meetings. North America, South America, Europe, South Africa,
and
East
ASEAN.
Asia, Southeast Asia. They do not know what to do with Philippines. They do not. Did you know that Netflix came here first to do the exploratory where they can possibly invest?
Yeah.
They first came to the Philippines because it's the number one speaking country in Asia.
Yeah, the English speaking. Yeah.
And then they produced Dead Kids. That was a great series. May nanood ba? The algorithm could not support. Why was it not successful? Again, this is just according to my sources.
Yeah, that's.
Right?
I want to ask you because you're kind of an industry insider, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they went to Thailand, in Indonesia, and they developed some series there.
Yeah.
Somewhat similar. And here, Netflix could understand why Filipinos would prefer those light comedies over a good series or a good movie.
Yeah.
Again, they came here first. And then they, you know what? We can't do anything else. We have to make a flagship in Asia. And can you guess where they went?
Korea.
Yes, they dumped $500 million.
And I heard just $2 billion yesterday, the other day. They're gonna put another additional $2 billion because they're doing so good.
So that's a missed opportunity.
Super
for us.
missed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm coming from. And people are like, oh, Richard, you have no right. You don't watch Filipino. Like, I don't need to watch everything to know that we're in trouble.
Do you know
that we're
how much,
missing something.
How much the economic growth the
Yeah.
Philippines would have had?
Exactly. Billions of
had
dollars.
Netflix planted here in the Philippines. We were the preferred choice, right? So, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I don't know if this will make you feel better. Actually,
Yeah.
Harvard University a few decades ago, this is Ramos' time, they were planning to do a kind of a medical school branch in Asia here. And then they came here, and then you know what happened. Siyempre yung iba nagtanong, kamusta yung cut namin dyan, ganun. They went to NUS. They did with NUS. So, Netflix is not the first world-class or world company coming here, automatically seeing us as their first option. Then we just, damn it, man.
Yeah. I had another smart idea.
Yeah.
of having jewelry in Asia here.
Oh wow. From New York, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. What? And then what? Who's gonna steal that again? You know?
I believe they opened already.
What, Singapore?
Singapore. Japan.
Yeah,
They got this. Yeah, they had to.
Damn,
Okay.
this is frustrating, man. I'm
So,
Yeah, go.
what areas are we lacking? What do we need to work on? What do we need to...
Ito.
It's
Realistically,
culture.
how
It's
the hell?
culturally that entertainment is being perceived as an expense, not an industry.
Industry, yeah.
Did you know that from the latest Forbes list, there are 2,640 billionaires around the world? I'm talking about dollars.
Yeah.
There are 12 from the Philippines.
Right. Oh, alam nyo na sino kayo dyan. baka naman.
I've tried to reach out to a few of them. You know, with the representation and all that. It's deaf ears.
What?
I've been trying to find my own Mickey Lee.
I know.
I don't know how else that I have to prove. I consider my expansive body of work.
Yeah. Worthy of the...
Right?
Yeah.
I'm always fiduciary responsible. I take it to heart.
Yeah.
Because whoever gives me trust, I take it seriously. Right? And I always operate on the professional level. This is why I call commercial altruism. Commercial altruism is in the sense that I'm promoting our great Filipino artists,
Right.
but I want to make money out of it.
For sustainability. Not to buy yourself the
Yeah.
6th mansion somewhere in Bahamas or something.
Yeah.
This is about sustainability.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make money now, how can you support it
I
for
have
the
to
next
tell
project?
you, I've lost count with all the mentions I've been
Yeah.
in Forbes, Dasma, Ordineta, even all the way to Cebu.
Ay, alam ko na sino mo yan. Alam ko na yan!
Usapang ano na to ha, katotohanan.
No,
What I've felt
This is
with
serious.
this ultra wealthy
This
2%,
is serious. This is serious. Yeah.
2%. They welcome me wide open. Exclusive private dinners.
Yeah, but that's
They
it.
wanted me to see what they have.
But that's it.
Take photos and introduce me to their friends. And when it's time to talk business, you
This-
hear crickets.
Yeah. Well, I have my own stories, but I'm not.
Yeah. That's that.
I know
so
what you're
that's,
saying. Yeah.
There's a, but again, I'm not giving up. I've accepted the fact there's not one Filipino with a pedigree of Mickey Lee. It's so sad because as far as I'm concerned, Filipinos are the best artists in Asia. I'm
Yeah,
not being biased.
but we have the worst oligarchs. You know, I had my other argument was this. You know, I was just in Vietnam the other month for a long time. Like Vietnam now has cars of its own. VinFast.
Forget about Vietnam. How about Cambodia?
Yeah.
Did you know that they first killed my father?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Did you see that on Netflix?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that
we were
you know,
required to.
Angelina Jolie. Do you know what's the Philippines' biggest box office film that was distributed internationally?
Pangako sa'yo, and then I'm just kidding. Film.
Henara Luna.
Henna Luna.
$4.2 million.
Makes sense. It did very well here, actually.
Thailand. Have you seen Bad Genius?
Yes, the same girl in Hunger or something like that. Yeah, the supermodel. She's super
The
good.
budget for that was $1.8 million.
Right. Only. Yeah.
Box office, $44 million.
No, I know it doesn't even compare. I mean, it just doesn't even come close. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Thailand is already big, right? I mean,
This is what I'm saying. We're being left behind. How the hell is this happening? We have the best artists.
because we don't have oligarchs who
Well,
support
again,
them.
I'm just throwing the question.
No,
I
I'm
have
just
the
saying-
answers, but I want everyone to
No,
know.
that's my
this
point.
is what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Hindi natin pwede lang aasahan yan sa gobyerno, 'di ba? Because our government is what it is.
Oh
But-
God! I'm not even bringing the government.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
There's nothing to go from
we
that.
got USD billionaires in this country. How many of
Yeah.
them? And
But I have a question lang. Shouldn't the big entertainment companies like ABS-CBN and GMA.
We should not name names. Okay.
No,
in
no,
fairness to
I mean,
ABS, there's
don't have
survival mode.
Yeah.
There's survival mode.
It
Yeah.
will be good for their business also if they go international. Shouldn't they lead itong moves na ganito?
I have to tell you, since 2018, I've had meetings in a few, actually most of, if not all of them. Nobody can quite embrace my idea. They always say we want to go global. But to be honest with you, the way I see it, they don't know what that means. They don't know what that means.
Go global on the cheap.
No.
Hey,
No.
hey.
It's not that. They
Yeah.
don't. They want to go global, but only
Yeah.
to Filipino audiences.
You mean the OFW community? It's
Yeah, because the
so very parochial.
the storytelling is
Yeah,
still
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
yeah, I know,
format
I know,
that
I know
maybe
what you're
Liza is talking about. I didn't.
You
read what
need
she
to
said.
engage that. You
Yeah.
need to
I'm not
literally
connected
talk to
with
Liza.
Liza,
No. I mean, but my point is this. I'm glad that Liza kind of got the ball rolling because we have to have a serious discussion. Really, this is not about being elitist and not. I'm not gonna lay us along at this and
Let's
blah blah
stop
blah. No,
being sensitive and just talk about the facts.
no, but that's my
Yeah.
point. And again, to Jhett, now you can say I'm really worked up. No, my point is this. If you want to talk about taste, it's a chicken or egg question. If you don't give people a taste of higher quality, whatever that is, how are you going to change? Because culture is not static.
Yun nga,
Culture is not static.
Kaso higher
Mag-evolve
quality
naman.
is subjective eh. Parang ang hirap.
Yeah.
How do you define?
Well, again,
Not formulaic, something different. I mean,
Parang,
bakit Squid Game gumana sa Pilipinas?
you know what?
Because ang daming plot twist, interesting,
No.
fascinating. Huh?
It's not that.
Algorithm? Like
No.
what?
It's production value.
Like, kaya nga my point.
It's not plots.
No,
It's
it-
production value.
No, but you have to go
when
together.
Korea says palace, when Korea says costume, when Korea says
Yeah.
rain.
Attention to details, right?
Yeah, I've seen Filipino films. Rain is just in this one frame.
No. Chipang, chinichipang.
Exactly. See, here's the point. Again, you can only do it once, right? It's more expensive to re-edit.
No, but look at Parasite. I don't think it's like a super expensive movie to make, was it? But
$11
I think the plot was like
the
amazing.
budget was $11 million.
That's not super big.
No,
That's not super big.
anything $80 million below on Hollywood is low budget.
It's indie. Oh, it's not
Yeah.
indie. Yeah.
No, it's still low budget. But listen,
But everyone loves that.
Parasite would have been much cheaper. It gotten to 11 million. It's because
It's the actors.
no,
Mm.
the mansion was built
Of
off the script.
purpose.
Ah.
Yes, that's why the bunker, the light from
correct,
a distance were all
correct.
measured.
Right. Yeah,
That's when I say production value.
I know.
And when you go to Korea, well, actually, the budget for the mansion has already recouped from the ticket sales. It's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Mansion mismo.
Damn yeah. It's
That's how you create another industry.
Exactly.
You know, I've been invited to Create Philippines. I've spoke again. I'm getting too annoyed with all this invitation to talk about. I'm so sick and
Okay.
tired of talking.
Let me say. Do you feel like they just want to put you there to tick the box? Is that what you're saying? That you feel like, oh, we had Jhett Tolentino as one of our speakers. Do you think it's
not
like
even
that?
I
Okay.
want someone to just okay. Okay.
You wanna put this here? Oh, na-conscious ka na yata.
No.
This is serious stuff. Yeah, go. Ikaw na lang
There was
sakripisyo
one
natin.
question that was asked to me. Was there ever a time that you were not proud as a Filipino?
Ah.
I had to take a deep breath. And again, I was
Trick
asked.
question, Ben.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. I said, okay. My answer to that, there was a portion in my life
Right.
that I put myself in, to dream is free, right? So I don't usually limit myself when I dream. So in my wildest imagination, if I were Korean,
Right.
Japanese,
Or even
or
Thai.
Singaporean, no,
Mm.
just these three
Yeah.
A-list in Asia.
Sure.
If I were a citizen of any of those three countries, a billionaire would have sent a private jet to New York, pick me up, because of the accolades that on my own,
Mm.
credits. I didn't have any
You
government
don't.
backing.
Honestly, I think even in.
Brought me back home.
I knew what you're saying. Yeah.
Have a meeting with me and say, what can we do together?
Yeah.
But for the life of me, I'm Filipino. Right? And look at me, I'm still fundraising for the entire company that I'm building
Okay.
to promote our Filipino
This is how I'm
artists.
gonna make you feel less bad. My thing is,
Okay.
I'm sure there was a point that a Korean and Singaporean was feeling like you in the 60s, 70s, whatever. It's not like they started where they
But
are.
at least it's not 2023.
I get what you're saying, but
It's
I'm just
completely
saying,
different.
I'm sure there's a Korean and Singaporean version of you or anyone who feels underappreciated in this country. The sad thing is we're starting from a way lower base than many of these countries, right? That's just the sad reality
Yeah.
we're speaking of. But I completely empathize with you. I'm just saying, take the Philippine as it is. The moment I stop comparing us to what you can get for what you are in other
Yeah.
countries, I felt so much lighter.
Yeah.
So much lighter. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Let's go back to the 2%ers that I mentioned earlier.
they're 0.0000001 percenters, right?
Alright, 1%.
You're the accountant, exactly right. Yeah. They're
Right.
the 2% of the 1%. Yes, exactly.
My experience with them is they want to go through the cash flow. They want to see it, if not daily, monthly.
Right.
If the business is not like that, it'll be a no. They're used to the norm that they make so much money off of the masa.
Because that's what they're enjoying here.
Yeah.
They're essentially oligopolistic practices here, easy
Yes.
money. That's it. They don't have an idea of
Whatever
long-term
sells
vision.
quickly to the
Yeah.
masa, they're for it. And
Quick
again,
buck.
I feel so bad with our artists
Yeah.
because nobody is standing up for them
Yeah.
and really walking the talk
Right.
seriously, whatever it takes. And again, I'm not here saying that I have all the answers and all the business strategies to make it happen, because the entertainment industry, especially in films, it's still dependent on the box office and nobody has this crystal ball.
Yeah. There's a randomness to it after
Yeah.
all. Yeah. Of
The
course.
biggest flop of a film that I can give you is Jiggly.
Mm.
Ben Affleck and
Yeah. I know.
$45 million budget.
Yeah.
Box office is $10 million. Okay?
Yeah.
That's one.
You need to make three times more, right, to make it sustainable.
At least.
At least, right?
At least three
Yeah,
times.
yeah, at least 3 times.
Just
yeah.
like Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi was a $200 million film. The box office was $435 million.
So still.
So,
yeah.
in essence, Warner Brothers lost
Yeah.
money at the box office.
Yeah.
But they're streaming now.
Bawi na lang sila doon.
The streaming money
Mhm.
is confidential. Nobody is... I mean, even the movies that I have, we sign NDAs and all this
Right.
stuff. Right? So we cannot say or share
Yeah, of course.
what our
yeah.
film got, because it'll be a precedent to the rest.
Yeah.
Right. So, going back to the 2%, okay, 1%er of 1%er,
Yeah.
that's that.
The
They're
double.
not,
Yeah.
they don't look at long term. Because I have to explain the life of a film. First year is, again, concept, development, pre-production, production, editing, film festival, and that's when you roll it out for release. So when I pitch to my investors, I always say, are you going to give me your life savings? If the answer is yes, this business is not for you.
Okay. You're not a practical, sustainable.
I'm not going to lick your ass and just tell you you're going to double your money next year. Because if anybody in the film industry or concert or any form of art
Right.
that will give you a guaranteed ROI, run.
Right, yeah.
They're
Ponzi
lying
scheme,
to
yeah.
their teeth.
Yeah.
It's not true.
It's
Nobody-
a gamble. It's a gamble. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gamble. Yeah.
But there have been a ton, hundreds and thousands of films that made money,
Yeah.
right?
So if you iterate it over time, mababawi mo yan. But
Yeah.
if you want to go for quick buck, one time, big
Yeah.
time,
There is
It's
a
not gonna
great
work, yeah.
series on Netflix. If you are looking into tapping or knowing
Right.
about film investing, watch Movies That Made Us. It's 3 seasons. My favorite episode there is this particular film
Interesting.
where Touchstone Pictures funded a film for $17 million because of the director, right? The concept is so weird. Christmas, animation, horror.
Hmm.
And then the director finished the film, and then they did a private screening at the studio. And the executive was like, Jhett, how are you going to market this film?
Right.
It's not going to do it. So they took their name off of the
Right.
film, and they left it to the director. They released it at the movie theaters, lost the entire 17 million. Nobody went. On the 13th year, it opened a cult
Mm.
in Japan. On the 13th year, they quintupled their profit. The film is Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
See? That's my point that I like
The
filmmaking because
franchising.
I'm a commercial producer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There are so many airlines that buy content every year. There are so many countries that they have cable companies that they will provide
Right.
content to their subscribers.
Right. The derivative
And the
profits.
wars between these titans of streaming
Yeah.
services, they brag.
Yeah.
They brag. If they have your film, that's a big middle finger to the other streamer.
Yeah. You can
So
play
you
them
gotta
off
know
each
the
other.
language of the game.
Exactly. Tricks of the
Right?
trade. Yeah.
So this is why, in terms of commercial producing, the filmmaking for me has more revenue stream than just Broadway.
Yeah. And you feel this is where you're going to be comfortable for quite some time.
And
That's
I
the
get
feeling
to
I
help
get.
so many
I get that sense
Filipinos
from you. Yeah.
across the board, not just the artists. I'm also in for the writers, the directors, the designers.
Of course. The whole team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole gamut.
Siguro it's just about finding the right
Yeah, sorry, I was just hearing someone breathing kanina. I was wondering it's you or me. Kasi that's not my breathing. It's like, oh my God, si Kuya ba yan? Kasi layo ko eh.
the
Like,
mic.
sorry, like, could you hear that? Like, I was hearing
I
like
thought you were
someone...
waiting for his reaction every time I speak.
No.
Kaya nga nilalayo ko eh, para hindi marinig yung...
It's just about finding siguro the right oligarch or family member na who has a passion for movies or for the arts. Baka kasi yun ang wala sa oligarchs natin eh. Wala silang, they don't have that
But Jhett is right eh.
passion
Kasi na-spoil sila sa ganitong quick buck,
Yeah.
low quality,
Yes.
nonsense business model. They have...
Low overhead.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah, easy money.
that's it. They've been operating
Classic
like that
oligarchs.
for decades.
Yeah, they want to just stick to that. That's why they're not globally competitive. Tell
Well,
me.
you know why?
Yeah.
Because they have so many children support from so many.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go there, but you know.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
I'll go there.
I mean, they don't develop
and
any
some
global
of them
brand.
are so hypocrite
Mm,
that they don't support divorce. But let all these illegitimate children roam around.
right. Yep.
Okay.
We're getting into interesting stuff. We didn't talk politics, but we talked oligarchs, right?
Yeah.
On that note, are there some final thoughts? Because like Jhett, I hate to say it again, I just realized we need more episodes with you soon. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, Jhett. I feel you. I think a lot of us feel you. I think you're not alone. Unfortunately, there are a lot of Filipino science, math
Yeah.
and science,
But
and
it's
social.
time to speak up. It's time to speak
But
up.
it's time for everyone, all of us, to
Yeah.
speak up and for us to call out the nonsense and for us to push the boundaries.
And yeah, if Filipinos want, quality material,
We deserve it.
yeah, just go watch those quality films.
Yeah, and we
That's-
deserve
and again, they actually proved it last December at the Metro Manila Film Festival.
Exactly. I think we're moving the right direction, not at the speed that any
Yeah.
of one of what, but they
There's
are.
a market for
Yeah, and then there's-
light comedy.
Yeah, and just to say, I mean,
Yeah.
the Philippines has a middle class now. It's not like masa and mayayaman. Meron ng middle class. I would say
Yeah.
25 million to 30 million middle class. You can see that, right? You go to Osaka, Filipino tourists.
Can
you go,
I just say something
Yeah.
about what really irritates me sometimes? Well, actually, all the time. When I put on when I'm in the Philippines, I turn the TV on a weekend.
Right.
I see an English film.
Right.
It's dubbed in Tagalog.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing. Yeah, that was not the case before.
I know they're providing some, work for those who can.
Yeah, the
who
dub business.
The
Yeah.
dubbing business. Okay, I just go back to the way I grew up.
Yeah. Or even
I
us.
speak
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
because I learned English by watching American films.
Right.
I have to watch how their mouths move and
Yeah.
how they enunciate.
Right.
My teachers were not as good as how I speak now.
Right.
Right? Because I'm from the slums. I went to public schools.
You had to work it through. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned. And mind you, us being the number one country in Asia who speak English,
Right.
I'm just thinking, I'm giving it about 15 or 20 years. We will lose that edge.
I think we're already losing that
Because
edge.
generations now, you even just talk to them, it's like, oh, nag-nosebleed ako.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be patronizing that.
Yeah.
Because it's our advantage.
Right. English shaming. It's not just smart
Yeah.
shaming. It's
You
like
know, Singapore, even Hong Kong, China, they're starting educating
Korea.
the kids
Korea.
with English as a medium of
Yeah,
education.
Koreans. I mean, you go to Seoul today, they speak to you in American accent. I mean, how much is this? 30,000 won. That's how it is.
So
30,000 won.
That's another concern of mine personally.
Right.
That our edge, that we might lose it given 15 to 20 years, because when these kids grow up, good for those who go to IS. Right?
Yeah, sure.
They're still
Which is
speaking
again 0.00001.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm talking about the general, most of the population.
Or even just the middle class. I mean, I've been teaching in the top schools of this country. I can tell you, I'm
Yeah.
also worried. I've taught at the top 3 schools. I'm now, of course.
We have to
I'm worried.
keep the
Yeah.
English as the medium of education in our school system. Otherwise, we will lose this advantage.
I mean, my frustration, Jed, is we should have also been able to speak Spanish. I mean, that should have.
Now you're being too much.
No. Why not? I mean, you go to Malaysia, you go
As
to
long as you
Singapore.
can say abierto puerta,
No.
that's all you need.
my Espanol is Mexicano accent because of watching
Oh my
Narcos.
God.
Yeah, you were saying like you learned your American English from movies. I learned Spanish Mexicano because of watching Narcos. So
Okay.
like
I'm gonna overrule you and just
Yeah.
let the elites speak Spanish.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, but that's the point. You go to Spain, they laugh at the idea that Spanish is seen as an elite language. It's like,
Yeah.
what? Like, it's like this is kind of especial language. No, the Spanish people in Spain, in Madrid, are the nicest, most egalitarian people I've seen. I mean, they're super. They laugh at the
Now
idea.
you're being an elitist.
No, serious. Because you know what? I know friends. Who told me that if you want to work in let's say Florida,
Yeah.
you need to know how to speak English, right? So there are Filipinos who want to work in the U.S., but in places in like Florida or California or New Mexico, doctors in New York in certain areas when there are a lot of Latino community, you have to learn Spanish. So now it's not enough just to know English. You need to have a second international
One
language.
at a time, Richard.
Okay.
One at a
Slow down.
One at a time.
Because my mom's generation
Yeah.
did that very easily. Yeah, both
I
Spanish
get you.
and
I mean, they can't even speak straight English. Okay, you're gonna throw in
Let's
Spanish.
get that one
Seriously.
finished first.
Yeah. Let's take the.
Siguro in Zamboanga. Kasi their
It's
language is
Chabacano.
it's close na.
yeah, that's like
different.
45% Spanish. No, I'm just saying, like, even if my fear is just holding on to English also might not be enough. Just to give you a sense of urgency, right? Like
At least there's something.
at least one, right?
Because now they're losing it.
Honestly,
That's
even straight Filipino, no one can do it anymore. Like ilan bang si Cheese Oscadero lang kilala ko na magaling magdiretsong Tagalog or something.
nga.
You can say like even forget about English, like diretsong Tagalog, wala, di mo rin makuha yan eh. Taglish na lang ngayon. Taglish, but with the balance moving to Tagalog rather than English.
Okay, hold on. Before I lose this thought, I am gonna go back to this what Filipino films are worth
Yeah,
selling in
Go ahead.
streaming industry. So the disparity is so large. I have to say, like for example, for lingua franca, I had to pull it out of one streaming service because they offered us peanuts. They're trying to categorize lingua franca as a regular Filipino film. Excuse me, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just that lingua franca is under the auspices of SAG-AFTRA,
Right.
which is the union in Hollywood. Lingua franca is now in the library of Oscars.
Right.
It's one of the 333 films considered for Best Picture that year.
And as you said,
Full
top
stop.
10 ever
full
By
stop.
BAFTA, yeah,
Yeah.
at least.
So
yeah.
when they offered to buy lingua franca for $5,000,
Jeez. Oh my god. Seriously?
I was
Like, what are they thinking about? $5,000! I mean, come on.
And mind you, that's the regular price
Wow.
for a Filipino film.
That's how low it is?
This is why I wanted
I had no idea.
the norm.
I thought
to
something like
change.
$20,000 like would be the most cheapang. Like the most cheapang
That
would
is
be
why there is a lot.
5,000.
There's a lot of Filipino
Bloggers
films,
make more money every
again,
month. Yeah.
in any other streaming.
Oh
right?
man, that's not good.
It's-
Bastusan na to.
This is what I call on the networks and the
Jeez, that's-
studios.
5,000.
Do not sell. They have to change this because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the offer for the Korean films starts at 7 figures.
I know. Like, you think $1 million at least, right? For the most cheapang they have to. Yeah, bastusan yan. So we're
The
institutionalizing.
disparity is unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Bastusan na.
this norm will continue if the production companies here allow it to happen. I took so much offense from that offer.
Man, bastusan na yan. Bastusan na yan.
Again, I didn't mention any streaming service. I'm just saying that's what's been going on. And it has
There are not many
to
streaming
stop.
services out there, yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to stop. Because you know why? These streaming services, one, they know that the Philippine films are most of the time done cheaply. That's one. Two, they're not under SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So when I talk to the production companies here, they're like, Jhett, how do we do it? Okay, I said, doing a film under SAG-AFTRA is very expensive.
Yeah, because
But
there's
guess
minimum
what?
wage and all of the.
Yeah, but guess what? You have to spend money in
To
order
make money, exactly.
No matter how great
Exactly,
our
exactly.
Filipino films here,
Right, right,
they will not be internationally widely distributed.
right. It's a branding problem. It's a branding
Because
crisis.
the silent politics is silent. Nobody will admit to this. Your film doesn't have the SAG-AFTRA logo.
Mm.
There are about 150,000 films produced annually around the world.
With that, I know.
Around the world, annually.
Yeah, yeah. How much? How many of them
So
have?
how do you think Hollywood would filter these films?
Yeah.
Why would they give your film priority when there's somebody from Nepal
Yeah.
shot it under SAG-AFTRA?
Yeah. Kids. You're automatically filtered out.
Yes.
Boom. That's it.
And the other factor is if your film had accolades, made waves, they will watch it. But in the first 2 minutes, they will be able to identify what kind of equipment you used.
Kung chipang to or may quality. Oo nga, no? Opening pa lang, no? Yeah.
You have to go through what's going on now.
Right.
What kind of cameras and lenses they use.
Tama.
You
Obvious.
can never
Obvious
fool
yan.
them.
Obvious yan. Yeah, yeah. It's so easy
And
to
for
spot.
the love of God,
Yeah.
the visual effects.
Yeah.
Another day.
Gagam po Plastic Man yata yung last kong napanood na may special. Oh my. Yep. I mean, even the Indian movies are getting really nice. The like RRR, I watched the special effects are like, whoa, like
And
infrared.
if there's anything you have to really invest in,
Yeah,
this is something again in Asian persuasion because I had limited budget.
yeah.
If I had extra money, I would invest fully in
Special effects.
what's this?
Sige lang, alam ko mahaba yung magkape ka muna.
No.
Sige lang.
Steadicam operator.
Right.
Under the union, in SAG-AFTRA,
Yeah.
a Steadicam operator gets $1,030 a day.
Wow.
They earn more than the actor.
So you need them through and through the whole shooting, right?
No.
4 to 8 weeks? No.
No.
Just week or two or.
This is for aesthetic of the film.
Mm.
Again, guys, so many times. What time is it?
No, this is it. We're ending. We're ending. Don't worry. Just to give an idea, we did almost 3 hours with Lord De Vera, right?
What?
We did almost 3 hours with
It's
Lord.
11 o'clock.
Yeah, I know.
Who's Lloyd? Who?
Lord De Vera.
Who's
yeah.
that?
Is a comedian in Philippines and also an artist and all. You should
Okay.
get to know him. So this is, as I said, this is kind of like Joe Rogan style, except with, like woke edition.
Yeah, because this is the kind of conversation I
Yeah.
want to have.
This
I'm
is
so
real.
sick and tired of
This
just
is real stuff.
sweet talk.
Yeah, no BS, no
you know.
filter. Yeah.
Again, all this invitation for me to speak and all that.
Yeah.
I just
No.
just show me that you're ready to do it.
Yeah, and show me you're ready to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like real talk.
Yeah,
This is-
and show me progress.
that should be our next podcast. Real talk. Yeah, real. No, this is real talk. Jhett, I wouldn't have asked you to come here to just
opener
speculate.
talaga.
Because I know that's usually the drill, right? No, I mean, I do it in my own, like, talking about, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But we need somewhere where we can be honest about our ideas and have the chance to explain why we feel the way we feel. We're not just being diva or entitled, fill in the gaps. No, it's coming from somewhere deep. May hugot tayo eh. Kasi hugot natin dahil sa pagmamahal natin sa bayan natin, because nakikita natin tayo ng, us who go around the world or some who are based abroad, ang galing ng Pinoy, but we're not even close to it. We're not even close. I mean, forget about Korea or something. Like, I'm even compared to Thailand or Turkey or even Iran. Like a lot of countries in Asia are really making a mark. How many Oscars Iran won, for instance? Oscar Farhadi twice, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Where's the Philippines? They were not in the conversation.
Siguro nga, the lesson that we could get from tonight is to support more people like Jhett.
And Jhett has to have a chance to be more honest and
who
real
knows
talk.
Who knows the politics behind, who knows the unwritten rules.
Yeah. Unspoken, filters and discrimination.
So who's gonna message me? I'm already feeling.
No, we didn't name names.
No. Because again, those that I've talked to and discussed about things. I mean, to me, I'm just speaking my truth, because not having an honest conversation will take us nowhere.
Please go on though. You see, many people are very, very, yes, I am with him. You see, people are feeling you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people are feeling you. People are feeling you, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that's true.
'Cause
See,
we-
so I'm telling you, people are feeling
We
you.
deserve so much more.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just not coming. Again, it's not about the sense of entitlement. It's just we have this great.
You know what
artists.
you deserve.
Yeah.
You know your value. I mean, it's about knowing
That's
your
it.
value.
That's
It's not
why-
about being entitled. It's about knowing your value. Exactly. Exactamo. That's it. That's exactly the point. Thank you, Jhett. I mean, I hope this is the beginning of our conversation, because my suspicion is this will go on for quite some time until we shame one or two oligarch into,
Oh my
leveling
God.
up. You know what I'm
God, I'm
saying?
gonna have a bulletproof car.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? We're like political vloggers.
Oh.
Imagine the stuff we have to deal with, right?
I have a teaser with you.
Go ahead.
I met someone.
Uh-huh.
I heard about.
I met someone. Like, can
No,
you
no,
stop
no,
there?
ultra-
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Ultra rich Dao.
Yeah, now. Okay.
Now.
Maraming
So,
ganyan.
Yeah, I went to an event
Right.
and they don't know who I am,
Right.
but somebody gave them my dossier.
It's like, umayos ka.
And then
Kilala mo yan.
pinatawag ako.
Yeah.
Come over here. They just tell me about yourself. And I said, this is me. This is what I do. He's like, oh, and he says, you're the one I've been looking for.
Boom. That's it.
And I said, I don't think you're the kind of money I'm looking for.
Yeah. Dodgy ba? Dodgy.
No, I said that up front because
Yeah.
I know, again, I do my 411 to any possible money. Right? And he parang nagalit. Sabi sa akin, are you sure?
Yeah.
I said, I'm sure. I don't think you have the kind of money I'm looking for.
So parang ano siya, small town.
No, because originally,
Yeah.
2019, I was looking for my own Filipino Mickey Lee. Just one person.
Yeah.
I know we have it here.
Can't we have like
But-
two mini Mickey Lee that put them together? You know what I'm
That's what-
saying? Let's be realistic.
Last week of April,
mini, yeah.
last week of
Yeah.
April,
Yeah.
this year, I have decided, I have accepted the fact that I can never find another pedigree of Mickey Lee.
Yeah. But
She's in her own
league, yeah.
plane,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Even
I
then.
cannot.
But
And then I just have to keep telling myself, I always tell myself this actually, 4 quarters make a dollar.
exactly. Maybe find 4 mini.
No,
Mickey
no,
Lee,
but I opened the company for subscription.
I see.
So that's what it is. But I'm only targeting the Forbes listers.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm just wasting my time.
Mhm.
I'm wasting their time. Hindi ako nagta-tricycle from New York.
Yeah. Right.
That's the bottom line.
Jhett Tolentino private jet. You know what I'm saying? Private jet for Jhett
Private jet,
Tolentino. I know. I'm super glad because I know there's so much that we have to say a little bit openly and call out a lot of nonsense out there. And I felt you're the right person. I felt this is the kind of right platform to start this kind of conversations. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a podcast entitled "Say As It Is."
Exactly.
No, you take it. I don't have the time.
No.
Let me just create, because I'm a creative and
Yeah.
money guy. So I'm that's why I'm striking the balance
You
between
have to.
commerce and the
Cre-
arts. That's why I
creativity.
call it commercial altruism.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Jhett. Are there like some I don't know more Filipino style? Are there like some hopeful things again? Let's change the ending, right? No. For me, I always say this. Realistically, what are the good steps we can do, right? That's what I always say. Whether as audience, whether as thought leaders, whether as creators, whether as mini, I don't know, oligarch, good oligarch. You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, given the Philippines, the way it is,
Yeah.
what is the essentially roadmap forward?
Michael
Realistically,
Jackson
yeah.
already did a song about
Mm.
this.
right.
Man in the Mirror.
Yeah. I could say like
That's all I can say.
yeah,
If you really want to start to change, you gotta start
yeah.
from
Looking,
this.
yeah.
Exactly, because you can start again patronizing better quality work
Right.
and recognize them. Even may it be in Twitter, on ako, every time I would watch a great film, I put it in my story on Instagram. And I tag those filmmakers and artists so they
Right.
know that I've watched their work and I appreciate them.
Right.
Even if it's only good for 24 hours, but there's recognition,
Right.
right? Give them the credit for the great work that they did. In terms of theater, this is, I guess, personal taste, right? Because before I did Broadway, I was annoyed by just people all of a sudden just burst into singing, right? I'm a play. I like plays.
I know.
Just talk straight.
Yeah.
But then, of course, and then I got to musical and I understand the whole concept. It's again, it's a personal choice. So we have local theater companies here in the Philippines.
Mm.
Upstart, or all these production companies try to get at least to see them, because there's nothing more challenging
Yeah, you're saying.
and taxing
I know what
than
you're saying.
live entertainment.
You're right. Yeah.
And I think they're the most underappreciated
Sure.
form of
Sure.
art,
Sure.
because they
I agree.
do it live. You can understand.
No room for editing.
No room for editing.
That's it. Yeah.
You gotta improvise
Yep.
and all that. So yes, it's a budgetary thing. Again, I don't know. For me, I always go to sort of Congress if they have pork barrel. Meron pa ba?
Right.
You know.
It has a different name, but
Okay.
it's the same thing. Yeah.
Whatever. Or
Yeah.
or their kickbacks, whatever it
Yeah.
is. Ask your Congress people to allocate something for your barangays to send you to the theater. This is how we cultivate and develop audiences.
I mean, we have multiple senators from the showbiz industry. Robin Padilla is just the latest one, right? I mean, doesn't make sense why there's no movement in the right direction. There are people from the industry there
I
already.
really cannot comment.
I knew that, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So again, I'm talking about the change that we can take, initial steps. In terms of television, if you feel that you support my call to stop the Filipino dubbing on English films, please make that known also.
Yeah.
Because we really have to solidify our advantage. from
Pero
our-
DepEd na yan eh. You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
Shortcoming in DepEd
That's why.
yan eh. Oh.
Again, I've
Sarah, usapin natin si
yeah,
Sarah.
again, you
Yeah.
can voice out
Yeah.
in any form. It's free speech,
Exactly.
right? Just speak up. And every time, I don't even know how this came about. Whoever
Yeah.
suggested or started this dubbing of English films.
Yung nagsimula na nosebleed. Baka yung
It's
mga...
not funny.
Yeah, it's not it's sad.
It's demeaning us.
No. Hindi natin kaya i-process yung isang dayuhan na lingwahe.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying.
It's so demeaning.
It's crazy. Yep.
Right? So there are small steps that we can take collectively.
Yeah, the self-deprecating culture has to be fixed. I mean, glorifying self-deprecation is one of the nonsense we have.
Leave that to the comedians. They're funny, Self-deprecation is I love that for comedians.
Yeah.
But in terms,
but not as a national culture.
Yeah.
It has to be outsourced to just some people.
Again, we have to protect what our edge is. It's like,
Yeah.
look at this. Kuwait just banned us. 100,000 OFW. I'm a very political person, so I know these things. 100,000 Filipinos, right? So look at that.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to. My God, can you imagine the GDP impact on that?
Yeah.
Right? So we gotta protect. Same thing that we are protecting for the rest of our generation to come. They will be able to speak English.
Competently.
Yeah.
Competently.
Yeah. From the rest of the Asian countries,
proficient.
because that's our
proficient.
edge.
Yeah.
We must not lose it. Right? Yeah, and I talk about films, and if you have, I don't know if any oligarchs is listening, so yeah, invite me for a talk.
Yeah.
Just make sure on your Forbes list.
Not Bloomberg Index or The Economist magazine.
US Forbes.
Yeah, sorry. Baka yung Forbes
Yeah, and otherwise, if you just want to talk to me, I invite me to talk about all the, let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya. I can use my time efficiently.
more productively.
Something
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
Something else.
Yep.
I think I've talked everything that I want to talk about here. So just send him the tape.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's just record it
I don't
and
repeat myself.
Yeah, I know.
I really don't.
I know.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. Just concentrate on the work and do not lose focus.
Right. On that note, thank you very much, Jhett
Thank you
Tolentino.
very much.
Maraming
It's
Really eye-opening.
Right?
Yeah, I'm super happy. We really needed a conversation like this. So thank you for making time. I know this was don't give away too much details, but this was completely spontaneous.
I
Like
know.
maybe you want to just do a song, and I'm super happy. I just felt a part of me, a sentimental part of me, feels that this had to be done.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be an expert on Philippine
I
interpretation,
don't either.
but I think we are like not just opinionated. We
I just
care.
have a little advantage because I know some things.
And we care about the country. I mean, everything we do is because we care about the Philippines. Let's be
Exactly.
honest about it.
Para sa bayan.
Para sa bayan, yeah. And
Wait, another thing. If I'm selfish, I would just have stayed on Broadway.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine over there.
Comfort
But
zone.
it's the call from our artists that I cannot
Yeah.
close my ears.
Right.
Because, what we do in life is about the impact that we leave behind.
Right.
Again, I don't have to do anything else. I'm fine with what I have.
Yeah.
I come from nothing.
But that's the private Jhett Tolentino. But the
Yeah.
national, I mean, like the public.
Now
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand
Yeah.
why I was brought there.
Right.
And I'm embracing the fact that I have this massive purpose
Right.
to take us there. Right?
Which is what gives your life a meaning.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
about
kahit-
meaning for
Kahit, long travels.
and long podcasts.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, just do not think about yourself.
Right.
Think about for the greater good. And look at, I look at our country. And again, I come from the arts. That's all I represent.
Right.
I don't care about the business of anybody
Yeah.
else. But yeah, I'm gonna bitch about the arts.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this is part of your legacy. I mean, after all, this is what you leave behind, right? All
Yeah.
of these advocacies, all of these efforts, all of this passion you're putting to what you're doing.
Mhm.
The rest is beyond us.
Yeah.
In the hands of the oligarchs. there we go again.
Yeah.
Parang dami. Sige, alright, thank you so much. Parang kulang talaga eh.
Pinoy talaga yung
Yeah.
ano.
Ito yung director's cut part eh. Thank you very much again for
Thank you.
everyone. Please continue to support our project Filipinas, and we definitely look forward to more conversations with Jhett down there. I think Jhett just discovered the podcaster also in himself right now. Yeah, and
I don't have the time and energy. Like
exactly, and God willing, the right people will listen, or hopefully we shame the right people into doing their job. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much. Anything to add, Mark?
Thank you very much, Sir Jhett, for joining us now. And ikaw yung unang guest dito sa aming
Yeah.
studio format. So, thank you very much.
Okay.
Definitely, this is it. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Bye.